Got tickets on sale in today's episode. Trains coming off the rails. Watch it all burn from the screen on your phone. But don't you worry about it, you're safe at home. Every talking head will tell you everything's fine. It's the blind leading the blind. It's a circus out here. We're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that it's the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. Well, the world's strongest man just dropped the ball, and the tent's caving in from the weight of it all. Yeah, the lion's out the cage, puppets in a rage, and the ringleader's on parade. It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that it's the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. Come on, come on. Witness the greatest show on earth. Ignore the flames. Do not panic. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's a circus out here. We're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that it's the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. Step right up. Got tickets on sale in today's episode. Trains coming off the rails. Watch it all burn from the screen on your phone. But don't you worry about it, you're safe at home. Every talking head will tell you everything's fine. It's the blind leading the blind. It's a circus out here. We're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that it's the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. Well, the world's
Oh, and I'm muted. Fuck yeah. What else can go wrong here? I shouldn't say that. Just a minute. Oh no. And now my stream's on. Okay. Okay. I think we're ready. I think I got it. I'm new. I just started yesterday. Don't hold it against me. Okay, so wow. What a freaking mess. I don't know if y'all are paying attention to Candace, but I have been. And I was really hoping she was not going to blow it. First of all, I didn't want her to go do the meeting in private, because then anything can be said and we don't know if it's true or not. And we're all going to think the worst. So let's just be honest. But first of all, let me say hey to everybody, because Multi won the booby tonight. Did y'all notice that? I think I need to move my camera. Yeah. Multi is playing with his booby right now. I almost guarantee ya. You're touching the nipple, aren't you, Multi? Anyways. You want to hear everything that I think on this and Tucker and Cam? Ooh. Well, I think Tucker's riding the fence too much. And I think Cam licks leg too much. Love you, Cam, but I truly believe that you lick leg way too much for the TP USA and Erica Kirk and all that shit. There's been ample information that's been brought up to you, and I've watched you on your stream, and I've seen how you've acted. So, calling you out on your shit, little dude. You don't like to see the facts if they don't go the way you want them to. Don't feel bad. I do the same thing. It's the bitch in us. Problem is you got a wang and I don't, so I get to be a bitch. Well, kind of. Not if I want to keep friends. Why does my hair keep doing this? Dude, I'm just going to chop that shit off. I'm going to shave it. All right. So, who else is here? Anyways, what's up? It's been forever. Mr. Multi. Anyways, Mr. Multi. Anyways, Mr. Multi. They did some visiting. That's good to see. And, Mishka. Hi, darling. How are ya? I seen you taking the puppy for a walk the other day. Well, I mean, I seen you say she was going for a walk. Who else? I know there's other people here because I seen names. Sherry, how are you, sweetheart? Jay, what's up? Hashtag professional. You know it. Flatty, how are you, sweetie? It's good to see you. I swear we don't see you as much. And Miss Wanda, how are ya? So yeah, did it? I don't know if everybody watched it. I was gonna wait till I got a few more in here to start Candace's video. I have no idea who's watched it and who hasn't. I'm curious as to what everybody has put on the poll so far, though. Where'd my poll go? Didn't I do a poll? Yeah. Oh, it's 50-50, really? Wow, there's only 6 votes. 2 vote, or there's 2 people that ain't voted. 3 people. Chop chop. 4 or 5. Vote, please. I want to see what people think. Right now, it's right down the middle. I'm curious. I'm concerned that she has flipped, to tell you the truth. That's why I don't think it was a good idea for her to go do a private meeting, because now we don't know what was said. And let's be honest, the deal was that they were to have no cameras, no live streams, none of that shit. However, TPUSA did a live stream while that shit was going on. And I'm sure that stuff was brought up. I don't watch them anymore. So I don't know, because I haven't went and watched. I probably should before I speak on it. But yeah. I'm very curious as to what everybody else thinks. I gotta know. Ooh. All right. 55% saying yes, she flipped. I was gonna, and see, I can't, you know me, I got too big a mouth. I can't keep my mouth shut about it, and I should have. Damn it. Because I wanted to see what everybody else, not that anybody's gonna do what I say, but I kind of was curious as to what everybody else thought. But yeah. Howdy, James. How are you, sir? You did not miss bingo night. Well, we did. There is no bingo night anymore, James. No bingo, damn it. Maybe that's what I should be doing, is doing bingo. Mr. Duggar. How are you, sir? Controlled opposition, right? You didn't vote anyways? You're too arrogant? Well, shut the fuck up. Okay, well, we might as well just get little Candace pulled right up on here so we can decide. And I'll probably push through some of it just so that, excuse me, y'all aren't stuck, watching something that you may have already watched before. So first of all, let's just be honest that when she started off, I don't know if y'all watched her from the beginning today, but when she started off, I was just like, oh no, my gosh, they literally took her brain out and stuck somebody else's in. But maybe that's not the case. I'm trying to be very positive about this, and I'm having a really hard time. I did not want her to flip. I wanted her to stay strong and true. And it's not easy when you're being I mean, for me, I'd be like, I don't give a shit. But for some, it's really hard, I think. Me, I don't really care what people think of me. But some do. And I mean, she's got, this is her business, not just her opinion. All right, so let's listen here for a minute.
Okay, everybody, Shabbat Shalom. I just want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody back at home. Happy
Lord help us. Okay, let's just start there.
Hanukkah to our greatest friends and allies. And, this is a good time to mention that Israel does have a right to defend itself. Tucker Carlson is Adolf Hitler. And TikTok does need to be purchased by the Mossad. It's just how I'm feeling today. I am not different. Maybe you are different. Welcome back to Candace.
Okay, so then I was like, okay, right on. I get it.
Okay, you guys are crazy. You guys are absolutely crazy. The amount of people who attacked me for sending out a tweet being like, hey, I'm good, I'm alive. We had a very productive conversation. And they were like, she got the call. She got the call. She's betrayed us. She's doing something else. I can't believe it. This has all just been a show. Calm down, okay? What do you think
No.
happened? Erica said, stop. And then I was frozen for 4 hours and 30 minutes, just like, as I just put all of these talking points into my head. That is not what happened. I keep telling you guys, I am not governable. I am basically akin to Kanye West. I never felt more seen than when he tweeted a lot of years ago, just fired my manager because I realized I can't be managed. That is me. That tweet right there, I was like, oh gosh, yes, Kanye, that I get this. Okay. Nobody is changing their mind, anything. How ridiculous would it have been if I'm doing all of this, investigating, asking all of these questions, and then Erica Kirk offers to answer some of these questions. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to go. I can't betray the people. I don't want any answers.
Okay. Because then you can say whatever, and we don't know what was actually said. We now have to just trust whatever you say. And at this point, it's hard to trust our own family members because of how shit seems to be going. So for her to say that, it's a little frustrating. What, you just want us to trust you after everything? I mean, I got a really hard time with that one.
The questions I just want to ask them.
She didn't trust anybody before, but she wants us to? Help me understand this.
No, this is the entire reason we are doing this. We've been looking at the situation going, why can't Turning Point USA just answer basic questions? And I can tell you guys that yesterday for 4 hours and 30 minutes, there were no rules. They said you can ask us any question that you want, anything that's on your mind, which I appreciated. And some of you guys are thinking, who is they? Who is they? It's the Jews, obviously. Just kidding. It's Justin Strife. Justin Strife was in the room. It was just Justin Strife and Erica. George joined.
See, now everything's a fucking joke to her.
Because he had that thing going on that I told you on the 15th all day. He was in a conference. And then I brought my cousin Mia, the one that has a really bad attitude. I just bring her there for vibes. I think it just confuses people. They're like, I don't understand what's this person doing here. And the reality is she's like always just listening to Cardi B music. But she's my cousin and I always have her around. And so that was it. She was kind of sitting a little bit away, but at the table, it was really just the four of us until George left. And I will be honest, I did not know what to expect going into the room. I did not know if they were going to be open. I didn't know what Erica's energy was going to be like, if it was going to be more of an argument, if there was going to be legal threats. You guys were telling me not to drink water, so I didn't drink water. Well, I brought my own water, but I didn't drink that water too. It was a lot. There's a lot going on, okay? And the conversation started with Justin Strife very sensibly saying, what are we looking to accomplish here? Like, what is the actual aim of this conversation? And he was
Okay, wasn't this meeting with Erica and Candace? Then Justin, go pack your pud and get the hell out of here. What I don't understand. When you hear her talk through this whole thing, it's all they. She never says who actually said what. That's what I'm talking about. Where now, how do we trust anybody? Because we got a bunch of, well, they said. It makes no sense to me. I'm so frustrated.
It's pretty clear, and Erica was very clear that they were sort of most upset with what obviously a bit of a fever pitch, when I tweeted that it was a godforsaken company and people should not give money to it. And I have to own that. That's aggressive. That is actually aggressive in the retrospect. I was very frustrated. And I don't know. I felt like we weren't getting any answers and there were so many lies. And then I was getting attacked for asking all meaningful questions that was within their capacity to answer. And I told you, I definitely, my problem in life is that I can rise to anger very quickly. I shared with them that I really felt like I was under attack for telling the truth from the very beginning, like casually when I mentioned the Catholicism thing. Like, what was that about? I was like, look, I say something in a tribute to him. Alex Clark and Andrew Colvett then jump onto a podcast and they're doing that weird interview, which is clearly aimed at me. And they've teased the interview as like aimed at me, but they never say my name. And that to me felt like it was the first, I don't know, the first bit of mud that was slung, which their answer for that was, hey, that was a really crazy time. A new system had to be put into place. And by no means did Erica give any person the authority to go out and say that the Catholicism thing was a lie. It kind of turned into this big thing. Whatever. Okay, that kind of obviously was not the meat of the reason that we wanted to sit down. I will say I was immediately refreshed by the fact that one of the first things that Erica did was she owned the lies.
Okay. Again, this is what I mean by not being able to trust what was said. As far as I'm concerned, for her to be clear and concise, she should have went in there with a list of questions. And those questions should have been answered. She should have come out with those same list of questions, got on a live stream, and literally said, here's the questions I asked. Number 1, la, 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 la. And here's what Erica said. Or if we got to bring Justin into it and whoever else, here's what so-and-so said, not they said. Because this means nothing to me. I mean, it shows nothing. It only shows that now Erica's rubbed shoulders with these people, and there's you can see that she has a total different attitude about it.
Lies, or rather, I guess they would cage it as miscommunications that were coming from various people at the company. Like, look, this is a company with 650 people that are employed. Everybody at this time is exceedingly emotional, and they are communicating. And no matter what somebody says on Twitter, they assume that this communication has come down from management, and that's not always a circumstance. But they owned right away, which felt great, that if you guys recall,
well, we wouldn't know that.
Erica sat down with Glenn Beck. I actually missed this portion because I didn't get to watch the interview in its entirety, and we were pulling clips because a lot was coming out very quickly. But there was a portion that was going around that was viral, and it was Erica saying that she had Charlie's phone and that Charlie never texted anybody the night before saying that he thought that they were going to kill him. And that obviously reflected poorly on me because I was the one who said that he did, in fact, text multiple people the night before. And then I went on Jimmy Dore on Friday, Jimmy Dore's show, and I clarified. I said, Andrew Colvett told me specifically that he was one of the people that received this text message. So I got that first person. I didn't get that from a source. I got that directly from Andrew Colvett. And then somebody who had access to Dan Flood's communications said that Dan Flood similarly received a text message. They owned that right away and explained. Erica said that she has Charlie's phone.
Well, anyways, let me get clear. You let me be clear. I don't know if you've watched all of Candace's live streams, but she has brought tons of proof about certain things that have come up. But the whole idea I believed of this meeting was for things to get clarified. And that did not happen. And you'll see as she talks, it's instead of, like I said, going one by one, here's the question I asked, and here's the answer they gave. She's not doing that. To her, this is like, well, we had a visit, and it was really good, and we had a very good visit, and I believe everything they said, and it's all great and dandy, but I still have some questions. Well, I can't even talk right, and I could have questioned them better than that. So that's the part that frustrates me. She has brought tons of proof to you. If listening and learning, well, here's the deal, and I'm going to tell you just like I told Rick, I'm not spoon feeding it to you. all that information is out there, and I had to spend the time and patience to go through all that shit. So happy watching. Go through and watch her videos. And I'm telling you, she had lots of receipts for lots of things that came up. Now, the stuff that she didn't have receipts for, that's kind of what this was about, was her going and having a conversation with her, with Erica, about these misunderstandings. So, or what was right or what was wrong. So that's kind of where I'm at. My whole thing with Erica is I always hate bringing this up because it sounds like I'm like, no, my sister was murdered. I've been in a situation, being a loved one, that's had to go through an investigation and all of the things. Never once did I tell anybody to not dig. And I didn't care if they were the cops, my sister's friends, my family. It didn't matter who it was. I wanted everybody to dig up all the information. The fact that Erica has said on several occasions, stop, don't do any of that, don't, they've got it handled. That, I'm sorry, but that right there just sends like 500 red flags for me. And if you have a loved one that's murdered, I believe that you want everybody to turn every stone over twice. And if you don't, something's wrong, or it maybe because you're grieving and you're not thinking right, but it's not the right answer. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Every stone needs to be turned over, and then it needs to be turned over again. And before they're done, they should probably turn it over 2 more times just to make sure. So that's kind of where I am when it comes to stuff like this. And I do believe that everybody should be asking questions. And if you aren't asking questions, you're part of the problem. So that's kind of where I stand with this. And like I said, I listened to Candace on numerous occasions. And usually once I watch part of her live, I will watch the whole thing. And she made many things very clear and brought receipts whenever she could. If she couldn't, it was always a question. It was never her pointing the finger at somebody. It was her saying, okay, here's a question. Give us an answer. I'll let you know. And that didn't happen. She also had a tendency to bring up inconsistencies. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think we all should be bringing up inconsistencies. It's just the way, I mean, if you're not wondering when something's inconsistent, then it kind of shows that you probably just don't give 2 shits. And it's okay, I guess. But, if you're going to be in part of it, you got to be in all of it. So to really understand it, or you really don't get to have an opinion. And that's kind of where I stand with this is, I've went through all of these. When people say, well, I watched a couple clips of things that she said, and I just don't believe her. And well, you watched a couple clips and that's what you're going on? Well, that's just nuts. That's like saying, well, I know that person's family and they're a bunch of thieves, so they must be too. No. So that's kind of where I am. What is it Candace is claiming is what was done or bad done? Okay. There's many things. That's kind of what I'm saying. I am not going to spoon feed you this shit. It's kind of like the whole thing with Biden, for me to sit down and tell you all the things that Biden did wrong. Well, the list was way too long. Let me just tell you that Trump's list is getting longer. It's going to be to the point where I won't remember that shit either. Everybody has to go out and do their own research. And all I have to say is with Candace, if you listen, and she goes very extensive into this stuff that she does. She goes in deep, like deeper than most. So you just have to watch her and see what she's brought up. My problem with this whole thing is now it makes me second guess things that she says and does from here on out, because she had an opportunity to bring receipts, and that is, I'm not going in there without a camera, because you're going to say things that I don't, that you're then going to turn around and say you didn't say, or something that I didn't say, and now we've got no proof of it because we didn't bring the cameras in. I mean, they're in front of a camera every day, all day long. What the hell would be the problem with bringing a camera in now to straighten it out? Like I said, now all we got is hearsay. And I'm sorry, Candace is just another person when it comes right down to it, and I got to see the facts. So that's where I'm at. But let's listen.
She's looking at his iMessages, and it turns out that he, like everybody else, communicates on Signal. He communicates on Telegram, and that those when she heard me say that, they then went and looked, and yes, that what I said was true. Andrew Colbert received a message the night before, and
well, the Macron, that's actually been proven that they did, and that's been proven by the FBI that they did try. There was basically a hit out on her. So again, I am pulling them receipts up if you want to get. Yeah, it doesn't take much to find it. Exactly, Yank. How are you, sir? It's good to see you. They did meet up. LW Mark Okay, I'm so clueless on this one right here. Anyway, because it says LW, so Mark for short. Okay, we're gonna call you Mark. Welcome. You're a member and you're in green. I don't understand. How can you be a member and you're in green? Why don't you have a wrench if you're a member? That makes no sense. Now I'm freaked out. Okay. So let's go back to the thing while I contemplate all that shit I just read.
Dan Flood received a message the night before. Now they asked me if I had actually like a concrete a copy of what Dan Flood got the night before, and I said no. Somebody told me what it said, which was almost exactly what Andrew said, which is they're going to kill me. Andrew did not know who the they that he was referring to were, but they clarified that the message that Dan Flood received said the left is going to kill me. So I can't confirm that one way or the other. I have to trust them on that because I did not see that concrete message. I was told that it said they. Now, obviously, we discussed the moment, and I'm laughing here because you TikTokers are actually out of control. You guys are going to be the reason that Israel gets TikTok because you guys are acting a fool all the time. And the videos were so hilarious of you guys mocking the Barry Weiss interview. It's great. It's good to laugh at ourselves. And Barry Weiss is always worth laughing at. But I was sort of like, hey,
Barry Weiss.
I felt name checked by the podcaster, Candace Owens, this obvious setup, and then asking me to stop. And it's interesting to hear Erica say that the reason she didn't ask me.
This part has kind of got me because there was already a conversation about this that Candace did on a stream. She never brought up this information that she's now bringing up. She's bringing up something that's completely who gives two shits when we're going to go watch how Erica did on, on Barry Weiss's, whatever that person, it's a chick, when she did her interview with Erica, because I think I got the acting down to I think I'm almost as good as Erica, and you'll see why. Yes, CBS. Thank you, Multi. So, but let's finish this.
Stop.
We're not
in
watching the
beginning
whole
because
hour
she
and
was actually
14
learning
minutes of
things
this
from
shit,
the
though.
show.
Just letting
She was
you know.
actually learning things, and that I think she similarly felt that Barry Weiss was trying to create a moment. Obviously, it's who Barry Weiss is. It's the Zionist lobby. She's trying to right perceived wrongs because I'm against her side. That does not surprise me. That's kind of why Barry Weiss exists. That's the reason they put her at CBS, is because she's just committed to stacking the audience with people that are going to present the pro-Israel cause and talk about anti-Semitism and talk about like crime being on the rise. It's kind of an embarrassment, but I actually do accept that. And I should also clarify that Barry Weiss obviously picked those questions. They were not random, like I told you. It wasn't like people were coming to the mic and it was an open mic and they didn't know what they were going to get. It was all very much planned by Barry. But Erica said that she knew the general idea, like they were going to mention me and mention the conspiracies, but she was not given that specific, the podcaster, Candace Owens, question. So I think that's fair to clear that up. Now, I did not at all recant any of my suspicions, and I understand people disagree with me about particular people at Turning Point USA. I communicated what I communicated in front of the whole world. My skin crawled after I spoke to Terrell Farnsworth, the person who took the cameras down. He lied to me several times. I explained to them, which felt good to have that direct communication, how Terrell lied multiple times, and that I did not understand why he was there that day. They echoed what he said. They defended what he said, that they were trying something new that day, that they typically live stream, which is what Terrell said. They typically live stream, and I said every college event. Well, they said, well, yeah, they live stream the events that are tour stops, but they don't live stream like the outside prove me wrong type events. And that was something that was new, and it required Terrell. And I said, even if that was all real, if that was all true, I still didn't feel good about the conversation that I had with Terrell, and I can't ignore my gut about the many little lies that he told. I thought the video he recorded was weird. I know he comes from a very powerful family. I personally do not trust him, and I obviously do not like the fact that I said, Tyler Boyer lied about this thing and said, came up with an excuse and said, well, Terrell was asked to take the camera down. That's the reason, he said on Twitter, because the police wanted him to take it down and secure the footage. And I said, I know that's not true. And they said, well, after all of that, yeah, after he took the cameras down, there was a police officer or Fed, whoever it was, that spoke to him and asked him to secure the footage. Well, that makes sense, but it's not a reason for why he took it down immediately. It makes sense that as you're investigating, you're going to say, who's got the footage? Let's lock it down. But it didn't make sense to me that Tyler Boyer lied about it. And I don't trust Tyler Boyer. And that is never going to change. Similarly with Rob McCoy, he makes my skin crawl. I can't explain it. I look at him and he's a bad person and nobody can make me feel one way or the other about that. I was surprised to learn, and this is kind of gets into, I guess, us not knowing the inner workings at Turning Point USA, that Rob McCoy actually does not work with Turning Point USA in any capacity whatsoever. And so him communicating as he has done, like, I'm the pastor, I'm this, I'm that, it's just not real. Like, that is not real. And we should know that that's not real. And when he says that, call him out on that separately from Turning Point USA. I was operating under the assumption that he worked for Turning Point USA. And I said, if obviously that's wrong, I'm happy to correct that. But also, what were we to assume when he hit the stage at Memorial and said, I'm America's pastor, and then had the Wikipedia updated and said, well, I'm assuming he had it updated because who else would do that he started Turning Point USA Faith. So I guess, to be clear, we were just wrong about that. And I will have a lot more to say about Rob McCoy and where I believe he fits into a lot of things. So I'm not letting up on that. Now, one piece of this where I still don't understand it, and the magic bullet. Okay. Now, we all recall what happened. I casually say on the show, hey, I saw the footage. There was no blood. And honestly, when I said it, I didn't process how big of a deal that was with the 30-06. Very quickly, what happens is Andrew Colvett whips up this tweet about what happened with the bullet, and he said he wanted to address all the discussion that was being had about the online chatter. I'm obviously paraphrasing here. He says, I apologize, it's going to get graphic, but he spoke with the surgeon. The bullet should have gone through. The surgeon then explained that what he's typically seen on these wounds, and basically this was all a miracle. Charlie saved lives, even in death. And the internet clocked it. This miracle, the healthy bone, his bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive. Like, this is a quote, by the way. His bone was so healthy. I want to read it. This is allegedly from a surgeon. Quote, his bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel. It should have gone through and through.
Oh,
it
this
would
just
have killed
bugs the shit out of me.
And we were just like, eek. That kind of was like the beginning of the WTF, right? I feel like that was kind of the beginning of it. And immediately people in the comments responded to Andrew, and he said, this individual said, this post is so fake as it would violate HIPAA. Like, there's patient privacy. You can't just call up the surgeon. And then Andrew Colbert replies and says, rest assured, I would not have posted without full permission. Now, he said he spoke to the surgeon, and they confirmed that Andrew spoke to the surgeon, but that they did not know that he was going to write that tweet. They did not know that he called up the surgeon. So, like, it very much came across to be like Andrew was just flying by the seat of his pants. I don't know. Like, he was just flying dark on. And I was like, that seems very strange to me, because why would a surgeon do that? Like, the first thing the surgeon should say is, I can't speak to you. I don't even know, in theory, Andrew wasn't even there when Charlie died. I don't even know why the surgeon even knows this guy, actually. Maybe he hung around after, but, you know, Andrew was not one of the people that got into the hospital or anything like that. So this is quite literally the PR guy who's calling the surgeon. And so that just seems very inappropriate for a person to do, period. And I would say it was kind of the beginning, but that was what I got from that. Now, obviously, we discussed the security. I brought up Brian Harpole, this interview with Sean Ryan, and I think we can believe Turning Point when they say that they did not approve of this. They had no idea he was going on Sean Ryan. I think that's pretty clear. I don't believe he works there anymore. So that was kind of him, just getting out there and perhaps trying to rescue his own reputation. And I think that only made his reputation worse, actually, because people rightfully sensed that he wasn't telling the truth in that interview, that he was being cagey, that he was saying things that didn't make any sense. Again, you constantly have these people that believe, like Brian Harpole, that with enough performance, he can sit down and you're just going to convince people that this is real. And this is just a different time. Like I said, these TikTokers are out of control. They will check you in 4 seconds. Okay. Things that the biggest piece of this that I want to communicate, and that I did communicate to them, and I hope that they took me seriously on this, or rather that they take my strong advice on this. I said, one of the reasons why I really want to sit down is because I want to walk out of here and feel confident saying to my audience, hey, like, there's stuff going on behind the scenes, but Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. Like, that more will come out, but you can take it from me that this is what happened. I was looking to achieve that because there's been a lot of signaling from various people, some people who are experts, some people who have been involved in cases, that there's obviously going to be stuff that the public does not have access to. And so it is at least plausible that they have seen very clear footage that we've been asking for of Tyler Robinson getting up there and taking the shot. Like, they have access to UVU cameras. So I was hoping to hear that. And I said that I want to hear why people feel so confident at Turning Point USA that Tyler Robinson is the guy. And at this point, they elected to call the lawyer, like, you know, their lawyer who is involved in this case, one of the lawyers that's involved in this case. There's always a team of lawyers, especially for something like this. And what I got from the lawyer did not make me feel that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. It did not make me feel confident that he didn't or did shoot Charlie Kirk. I was very surprised by this. He spoke a very long time. I asked, you know, can you share with me what it is? And I said, when you share this with me, I will not say what that thing is. If that's what if we want to protect the integrity of the case. I'm not going to, if you say, we've got the footage of him taking the shot, I promise I won't say that to the audience, but I will communicate to them that you have something that is solid. And no, to the exact contrary, this guy effectively said, not effectively, he said that they have nothing but the affidavit. Okay, so what we have seen is what they have. What is being discussed publicly, you are this whole like non-expert problem with like, well, you don't know. It's like what you read, his messages that don't have any dates on it, Tyler Robinson writing out everything in a clean alibi. That's what they have. And what he explained to me was that that's the affidavit stage. That's where it's at. And then what takes place now is the investigation is ongoing, right? So right now they're looking for more information. And once investigators, they could very well have obviously footage, and that is why they might feel that, oh, we're definitely gonna get this prosecution. But the reality is they don't actually share that information with the victim. They don't share that information.
Okay, so we could go on and watch this whole hour and 14-minute thing. And we could, if y'all start screaming in chat that that's what you want to do, then that's what we'll do. But we know, I mean, this is her attitude basically through it all. So I am a little leery. She's going to have to do, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to reserve my opinion, but my opinion keeps coming out that she's flipped. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So, let's stop that, because I want you guys to watch something that probably triggered me more than anything. I'm pretty sure it did. It was not good. Okay, let me take this out. Boy, I almost... Okay. And let me go to the interview. Okay. There we go. How long? There it is. Nope. No, where's the... Oh my god, did they do it for an hour? Please tell me no. Okay. Well, I'm getting through all the bullshit that CBS did. Oh, you fucker. Okay, here we go. Maybe. My heater is making my nose tickle. Alright. No, that ain't what I want. Where is it? There it is. Okay.
A town hall with Erica Kirk.
Good evening. I'm Barry Weiss, editor-in-chief of CBS News, and I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let me tell you why we're here. If you're watching this or you're sitting here in this room with me, you know what I know, which is that we live in a very divided country. A country where many people feel that they can't speak across the political divide. Sometimes they feel they can't even speak across their own kitchen table. And one of the goals of the new CBS News is to change that. And this town hall is just the beginning. This is going to be the first of many conversations and debates on CBS News about the things that matter most, which are often the hardest to talk about. I can make one promise to you, and it's this. You will not agree with everything you hear tonight or in any of these other broadcasts. And that is exactly the point. Because the premise of a democracy is that we persuade each other with words and not violence, and that the only way to get to the truth is by talking to one another. And that brings me right to tonight's guest, Erica Kirk. 3 months ago, Erica Kirk's husband, Charlie, was assassinated on a college campus in Utah. To some, Charlie Kirk was controversial. To others, he was heroic. What is indisputable is that he transformed the American right in the 21st century. He did it through an organization called Turning Point USA, which he founded when he was only 18 years old. In the wake of Charlie's murder, Erica has now picked up his mantle. The mother of 2 young children, she is also now the CEO and chairwoman of Turning Point. Now, Charlie's murder was not an isolated tragedy. And tonight in the audience, we have other victims of the political violence that's ripping through this country. We also have religious leaders, college students, young Christians, and others invited by CBS News. You're going to be hearing from some of them tonight. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. So Erica, let's get started. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I was very grateful when you had reached out because it was an opportunity to be able to have a conversation that Charlie always...
Okay, I just want you to pay attention to the acting, okay? I really need to make sure I ain't crazy.
enjoyed being able to have dialogue on both sides so that people could really hear everything that's going on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for making the time. There's so many subjects I want to cover. I want to begin with the hours and days after your husband was murdered.
Yes.
You got up in his podcast studio where he broadcasted from for many hours every day.
Yeah.
And you said this. You said, "You have no idea what you have just unleashed." What did you mean by that?
Let me give you a little background of that day. We get home. The team goes to dinner. I'm laying in my daughter's bed, and I can't sleep. It took me months to even walk into my bedroom. I'm laying in my daughter's bed. I can't sleep. I grab my phone, and I start typing out it. And those are my words. That morning, the team reached out to me and said, They think they got the guy. You should probably say thank you to the authorities.
Okay. Who would do that?
And just make a statement. I said, okay. I wasn't afraid. They said,
Her husband has just been murdered. Now she needs to thank the authorities for doing their job.
let's go to the office and let's discuss. We're at the office and they say, do you want to go live? Or we can easily, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. We can easily pre-record this. I said, absolutely not. My husband always went live. I have nothing to hide. We're fully transparent. What you see is what you get. If I start breaking down on live TV, I break down on live TV. My husband was assassinated. He didn't die in a car accident. So we go live. I write all of my own speeches. And when I said that, that is the Holy Spirit that is unleashed. That is a revival that's unleashed. That's not meant for call to violence. That's meant for people to understand that the Lord is moving in ways we have no idea. And God is going to use something so tragic to wake people up to realize that our life is short. He only lived 31 years. 31 years. And so, yes, you have no idea what has been unleashed. But I will promise until my last breath that I will let the Lord use me in ways that He only can. To bring.
Just keep paying attention to the eyes, okay? Because here in a minute, I'm going to do a little reenactment, and I want to make sure that you guys critique me well.
Bring glory to Him into the kingdom. And it has been unbelievably powerful. And it's just the beginning.
Erica, one of the most alarming things about Charlie's murder was the way that some people in this country reacted to it.
Yeah.
And not just online. This was an idea that you encountered a lot. And the idea was this. They kind of justified it. They basically said that because Charlie said or believed things that
Watch your eyes.
they believed were controversial or even hateful, that he somehow had it coming. What do you say to people who justified his death?
You're sick. He's a human being.
Look at.
You think he deserved
Did you
that?
see that? Jesus, I'm telling you what. That's civil.
Tell that to my 3-year-old daughter.
Oh, she's good.
Excuse me. You want to watch?
Let's not forget fireworks at his funeral, okay? Remember the pyrotech shit screaming in front of her? All that shit going up in the air. And he had been dead how long?
In high res, the video of my husband being murdered, and laugh and say he deserves it. There's something very sick in your soul, and I pray that God saves you. I pray, because that is what is so wrong. The internet in this world has dehumanized us. My husband did something very simple. He talked to people. You're going to be murdered for talking to people. He didn't go after people, he went after your ideas. And if you think it's okay to murder someone because you think they had it coming for them, because they took the time to have people come to the front of the line if they didn't agree with you, and you think it's okay because you don't like what they say or how they say it, that they should be murdered, and you're enjoying it and you're rejoicing in that, that is evil.
Look, she can't bring the tissues in. Ma, if she does, then nobody will see the tears. I did just use civil.
Evil.
Oh. Tissues.
Excuse me.
Hold, please.
As you know,
Oh.
and as I know,
Dab.
one of the
Dab.
ideas that has gained a lot of traction among young people, especially in this country, Erica, is, and this leads them to this kind of justification, is the
Dab.
idea that
Dab.
words
Dab.
themselves are violence. And that brings us tonight to our first audience
Oh,
question.
look at 'em.
It comes from Angel Eduardo. Angel is a senior writer and editor for the civil libertarian group, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, or FIRE, and he writes passionately about issues of free speech. Angel.
God, here we go.
Thank you, Barry. Excuse me. Hi, Erica. My condolences. A recent survey that we took after Charlie's assassination found that 90% of undergraduates believe to some extent that words can be violence. Another fire survey that we took earlier also found that 1/3 of surveyed students believe that using violence to stop disfavored speech can be acceptable, at least in rare cases. What's your response to those numbers? And what would you say to those students in particular?
Well, for the people who say that my husband might have incited violence, I know that was not your question, but I'm going to put a squash on it before anyone else can attach to that. My husband never incited violence. He never once said, go after them because they're saying...
The thing about it is through all of this, most of the people that are questioning things are the right side. The left don't give two shits. They don't care how he was killed. They don't care. It's us that are questioning shit. But she's bringing it up like it isn't us. Like we're accusing Charlie of doing something wrong. Charlie never did anything wrong. We already know that. Charlie wasn't the problem.
XYZ and they deserve to die. My husband never once said that, and he never would. What did he say? Come to the front of the line. I'll put my mic down. Tell me why you believe that.
Come to the front of the line. But what'd she make Candace do? Candace had to go behind closed doors and talk to them. The they people.
That's interesting. I never thought of that. But have you thought of this? People heckling, laughing at them. Stop. It took a lot of courage for them to come up here. Stop doing that. He gave them a microphone. He didn't take away a moment for them to speak back. He gave them a microphone. And what they do, they gave him a bullet in the neck. Totally different. But you have secular revolutionaries that want to come out and say, you can't say that, and I'm going to stop you from saying it. I'm going to... Why? You don't have a conversation. Something as simple as a conversation. And this is what is so fascinating to me. My husband knew that something as simple as having a conversation could change the world. So simple. That is an ancient thing. Come and sit down and have coffee with me. Why do you believe what you believe? 80s and 90s, they were doing this in Congress, then going to have a Subway afterwards. Why don't we do that anymore? Instead, it's violence. Usually one-sided. I'm not going to go there. But you know what's so interesting about my husband's book, the last book he will ever write? It could have been about politics. It could have been about football. It could have been about anything. He was multidimensional. It literally says, stop in the name of God. Stop. Stop the violence. Stop the hate. Have a conversation. Stop. And what he knew in that book was not just so much stop that, take a minute to get off of your phone and realize that we are all human, operating on this broken planet, all sinful, no one's perfect, and we're not getting out of here alive. But what he knew in that book was the balancing factor of communication. You cannot communicate with someone if you're not at peace with yourself. So he went on campus talking to a kid. They're screaming at him, screaming. Does he scream back? Not once. He sits there. And you know what he's thinking? It's in that book. Maybe you need to take a few hours. Get off your phone. Go for a walk in nature. Go sit and have a coffee. Go and tell your mother you love her. Go do something that is beautiful and healing instead of trying to tear something.
Go tell your mother you love her. Has Charlie's mother been brought up or talked about since he was killed? I don't think so. And definitely not out of Erica's mouth.
Down that you did not build. That's my thought on that.
We're going to talk about the book in a little bit, but I want to pick up on a theme that you've now hit on twice, which is the idea that the black squares that we all have in our pocket, our phones,
Yes.
that they are doing something to us collectively, that they are dehumanizing us. Later, we'll talk about the conspiracies that are spreading right now on those platforms about who killed your husband. What do you recommend to people sitting in this room? What are your practices to disconnect, to reconnect by disconnecting?
Well, like my husband, I took all of it off my phone.
all social media off your phone?
I don't have it on my phone. I have a team that helps run it. I really, everyone has an opinion about me.
Wait. So she makes money off social media, but she ain't gonna put it on her phone. Kind of like when Pelosi said no, we all had to stay inside, but she was out getting ice cream.
Care less. You know what I care about? I care about what my daughter says about me and her running up into my arms and loving on me. That's what I care about.
One of the things that has happened over the 3 months since Charlie was murdered is that people have gone through the thousands, maybe tens of thousands of hours of words he produced. He said more in 31 years than most people will say in a lifetime.
Yes.
And I want to read a few that have captured the most attention, especially on the political left, okay?
Yeah.
Some gun deaths were, quote, unfortunately worth it to preserve the Second Amendment, he said.
Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think she tips her head down here.
Acknowledging that he wishes he didn't feel this way, he said, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. He said the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a mistake. Now, I realize that all of those quotes come from longer conversations that he had on his show.
Correct.
But he did say those things. And Charlie is being memorialized by many people as a person who promoted civil discourse, as a person who said, come to the front of the line, let's have a civil conversation. How do you square that with the statements I just read?
I would love for everyone to be able to watch the full and entire clip of what he said. Charlie didn't care what skin color you were. He didn't care what religion you were. He loved excellence. He loved knowing that people, his favorite word was earn. He loved knowing that people worked hard to earn what they got. He worked so hard to build Turning Point USA. The first statement you meant about guns and shooting, I have no idea the context of that, and I have no idea that whole, there's a lot more there than just that one little sentence. My husband is not to be deteriorated to 2 sentences. He's not. He is a thought leader, and he was brilliant of a man. So that's fine if you want to take words out of his mouth or out of context without the whole thing in perspective. But that's the problem.
Does it bother you that people are picking out those statements and drawing an entire picture of who he was?
Again, that's the problem. You're not having a conversation. You're having a 15-second clip on the internet to define your thought of who someone is, instead of taking the time to educate yourself on truly who that person is, what they thought, because why? They challenged you to think a little different?
Well, wait, Erica. We knew Charlie. It's you we don't know. We're learning. But we didn't know you before this.
Again, my husband was an amazing man. We're human. But I do not once, for 1 second, think he was anything else than exceptional.
Erica, as you know, the last person that Charlie ever spoke to was a Utah Valley student named Hunter Kozak. He was asking Charlie a question that day when he was shot, and he's here tonight, and he wants to ask you a question.
Hi there. Erica, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you.
I just watched this dude on a video where he talked about what a piece of shit Charlie was. This guy is in something about America fucks. What is it? Somebody knows. If you do, put it in chat. I can't remember. It's a group. A liberal. I don't know. What the hell?
Your calls for peace and unity, and I'm likewise horrified by the people in my so-called camp who were cheering about Charlie's murder. I believe that they stoke the flames of violence. But even worse is when powerful, influential people on either side of the aisle stoke the flames. When they do it, the flames can become an inferno. And this leads me to Donald Trump, the most powerful and influential person on earth, who has more responsibility than anyone else to put the flames out. Just last month, President Trump called on 6 Democratic lawmakers to be tried for sedition, which he clarified was punishable by death. He then reposted a simple message: hang them. I think that you've been making strides to bring peace to our country, and that Turning Point has been asking Democrats to decry the individuals who cheer for violence. I have and will continue to decry them. But any good faith effort to stop political violence must hold both parties to the same standard and expectation. So in that spirit, will you condemn the violent rhetoric of Donald Trump, the most powerful
Watch her not answer this.
and influential person on earth?
I appreciate your question. You know my heart. Why would I ever say, yes, go murder people?
How does he know her part?
This is so much deeper than just one. I understand your sentiment. I do. But this is also so much deeper than just one person. This starts at the home, okay? This starts with family. This starts with a seed that grows and grows.
Wait, she's gonna blame Tyler's family, who's right-sided on this? I'm so clueless. I remember watching this, but I still don't get it.
You can choose to have evil in your heart, or you can choose to have light. What you consume and what you absorb from the outside world will manifest itself. No, I will never agree with political violence. My husband is a victim of it. I'm a victim of it. But what I'm trying to say here is that we can blame everyone else. We have to look in the mirror. When you become a father, when you become a mother, how are you raising your kids? Are you taking responsibility, or are you giving them a device and saying, go down that rabbit hole? I'm trying to go to Pilates class. You can just sit in the corner and look at your iPad or look at your phone and go down that rabbit hole and see what you...
Well, you're CEO now of 4 companies. How are you handling that, honey bun, with 2 kids?
You can learn from that instead of being a parent. So my call to action from that is, parents, step up. Do you want your kid to be a thought leader or an assassin? That's where we're at.
Do you think our political leaders have a responsibility to turn the temperature down right now?
Well, I think everyone has a responsibility to do that, and I'm doing my part. I'm not in control of other people.
Okay, ahead, a father whose daughter was murdered in cold blood because of who she was. He's here. Also, political violence
why?
and the conspiracy theories surrounding Charlie Kirk's assassination. Stay with us.
This one coming up, this guest they bring up, it makes no sense.
American exceptionals have been so popular on these college campuses.
Welcome back to our CBS News Town Hall with Erica Kirk. Bob Milgram is the father of Sarah Milgram. Sarah was fatally shot last May outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C., alongside Yaron Lashinsky, her boyfriend. Sarah was just 26 years old when she was killed. Bob, thank you so much for being here.
Barry gonna cry.
Thank you, Barry. Hello, Erica. Just as our family could not anticipate the pain we've been going through following the murder of our daughter, Sarah, there is no way I can understand the pain that you and your children are going through as a result of Charlie's tragic death. Our daughter was killed because of anti-Semitism, hate against Jews, and hate against the Jewish homeland, Israel.
What the fuck does this have to do with the price of tea in China? I don't get this. This didn't have... Charlie's wasn't it had nothing to do with that. Oh, Lord, see, they wonder why I get triggered.
We know about the growth of anti-Semitism on the left, including here in New York City, where the mayor-elect still will not condemn the phrase, globalize the infantata. What I want you to address is growing anti-Semitism on the right, including Holocaust denial, anti-Zionism, and the normalizing of centuries-old conspiracy theories about Jews. Will you here condemn the individuals spreading that hate and speak out clearly enough against anti-Semitism so we can prevent another tragedy?
Yes, sir. First of all, I'm so sorry. You and I are a part of a very small club. Painful.
Yeah, and we ain't in it.
Company, and I will pray for you. Sucks, doesn't it?
practice this.
Hate is hate.
That's a dollar bill, not a tissue, just so y'all know.
It's evil.
140 million of them.
Charlie and I have always been very clear on our stance. Israel, Jewish people. It's awful. Awful. Anti-Semitism.
Let's be honest, because Charlie was questioning some things right before he was killed about Israel and the whole blah, blah, blah.
What healing factor comes out of hating Jewish people? What healing factor comes out of hating Christians? What healing factor comes out? Hate in general. Nothing. Nothing. Charlie always would say very clearly, Jew hate was brain rot. He would always say it. We've been to Israel twice together. And to be able to walk in the place where our Lord walked and see the Bible come to life in Technicolor, how could you hate that place? How could you hate the Jewish people? Why? Because you need to fulfill a conspiracy theory? I'm wrapped in, people say I'm a part of conspiracy theories all the time. It's sick.
Come on, let's be honest. She was just crying. Couldn't hold herself together, and now she just literally smiling. I'm telling you, and I know I'm critiquing everything she's doing, but she's tried to make herself out to be a perfect person, and everything I see is all acting. Everything that she's doing.
And it needs to stop. We are human. No one is perfect. No Christian is perfect. No Jew is perfect. No Muslim is perfect. We are broken, sinful humans in need of a Lord and Savior. And that's why it is so important to give your life to the Lord. Because once you do that and you fully surrender to the Lord, you have no room in your heart for hate. And so, sir, I am so sorry what happened to your daughter. I pray that does not happen, and I pray that that is something that we can somehow extinguish in this world. But we are living in enemy-occupied territory. And every single day we need to guard ourselves, guard our minds, guard our heart. And the best way to do that is reading God's Word. And you cannot separate the Old Testament from the New Testament. You cannot.
Look at how she says it.
You cannot.
She just said God's Word, and at the same time, she looked like Sybil was her. It was coming out of her.
Bob, do you want to ask a follow-up?
Is there anything specific that Turning Point can do to combat anti-Semitism?
Yeah, so we're all of our college campus and high school campuses, we have these conversations. And our students understand exactly my heart and Charlie's heart and the sentiment of everything I just said. We have Shabbat dinner happening at AmFest. We have individuals in our chapters who are Jewish. We have people that are going to be having booths. We have an exhibit hall at AmFest that are Jewish, that have Jewish organizations. The only way to combat evil, just like Charlie did, is with dialogue and not being afraid to do it. If you have these things that are being said, you need to counter it with the truth.
Look at her
And
eyeballs.
if you don't,
Dude,
there's a void
something not
and a
right.
vacuum. And so even though they're a small number, they get louder and louder. So we need to do our best, which we're doing our part. We're going to continue to do our part to make sure that the truth is always heard. We'll amplify it even more. And we're going to do the best we can. But we need the whole community. We need everyone in on that.
Bob, thank you so much. I want to talk about
Me too. no
discernment.
shoes.
Yes.
Okay, being able to separate truth from lies, reality from unreality. A 22-year-old man named Tyler Robinson has been arrested and charged with the murder of your husband.
Okay, here we go. Okay, this is the part I practiced.
And yet there are a
we go.
huge number of conspiracy theories, you might call them brain rot, that are spreading right now online about the actual story behind the reality. One, people say that Tyler Robinson was actually a MAGA Republican. Or two, some people say you were actually a Mossad agent sitting in front of me and you were Charlie's
Okay, so
handler.
they cut it out. But the first time they showed this, they showed her head down, and then she got done talking, and when she looked up there, I'm telling you what, I'm pretty sure it was the devil's wife.
And Israel killed
I've
Charlie.
never seen anybody have
Right.
eyeballs
Other
like
people
that.
say that a number of men in the crowd
Not even me, and my kids call me Medusa when I become a bitch.
were wearing maroon T-shirts, and this signifies that his killing was an elite airborne operation, whatever that means. They say that the rings on your fingers, which are
My kids'
your
initials,
kids' initials,
my wedding band, the Medal of Freedom, my
Okay, let's talk about the rings for a minute. Right now, she's got rings on. One's an M, which is for Max, and one's a G, which is for Gigi. Those are her kids. However, the day that she went and did the public appearance of laying on Charlie while he was in the casket and putting her hand on his hand, well, I guess Max wasn't important that day because he didn't get his ring on there that day. She didn't have it on her hand that day. And before all of this, she never wore those bling rings. And she never looked like this either. Just weeks before this, she never looked like this when you seen her. The only time she looked like this was when she got married.
my engagement ring.
but apparently they symbolize some kind of secret plot. There's also a new theory that Egyptian aircraft have been tracking you. What is going on? Why are there
That's
so
been
many
proven.
conspiracies spreading about what seems to be a pretty open and shut case?
This is the first time that we have seen evil on display where we have social media at our fingertips.
Watch your face. Watch your eyes.
Something so evil that happened, people are wanting answers immediately. They are wanting to figure out how to wrap their mind around this. Egyptian planes.
Do you,
No, but Egyptian
do you
planes.
believe that Tyler Robinson murdered your husband?
Yes, I do.
Why do you think it is
Look at her
so
face.
hard for so many people to believe that reality?
Because it's too simple. Again, everyone always has to think there's more to the story. Well, sometimes there's not. I've seen the autopsy report. I've seen our case pulled together. I've been in constant contact with our lawyers,
Okay, let me just tell you something. Who's been through a murder trial that had her hands in everything that she possibly could. There's so many things that they do not tell you, especially as the family member. So for her to sit and say she's went through the autopsy report and this and that and la 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 with and all the evidence with them, and this is all there is, that's a bull-faced lie. Because they're not going to show you everything. They're just not.
prosecuting team. I've seen it all. And let me tell you this. Why in the world, why should we, prior to the trial, lay all of our hands and cards on the table for the defense team to see, to somehow then, I don't even know what they would do with it. But what I will say, and I want to get on the Egyptian plane thing, we'll take a flight on that for a second. What I will say is what I'm worried about, and I'm fascinated, just from a legal standpoint, to see how the United Healthcare trial pans out. And I say that because this is the first time where we are seeing the implications.
You're talking about Luigi Mangione.
Correct. I'd prefer never to say any of their names. They do not even deserve the ounce of oxygen and breath out of my body. But what I mean is it's fascinating to see how social media will impact that court case, just how it might impact mine.
Are you nervous he's not going to get a fair trial?
Well, I'm nervous that there could be, they'll say we can't find a fair jury. Like they're going to taint the jury pool. And in that case,
that's how widespread you think these conspiracies have gone.
Yes.
That's how mainstream they become. Okay.
Egyptian planes.
You want to talk
that
about
one?
Egyptian planes?
Okay. I was pregnant for 90% of those trips. Mind you, I've never, all those places they said I've traveled, I've never been. I mean, I've been, but I'm not within those dates that they've.
But you even said you need to.
No, but this is, yeah, but I do on that one. Only because, from a humor standpoint, I intentionally, when I was pregnant, hid. Not because I was embarrassed. Not because I didn't want anyone. Yes, we did keep it very private.
No pregnancy pictures. I watched a video and I didn't get to finish it, but they were proving how she was not pregnant. Those kids are so, I don't know. I didn't get to see the rest of it, so I don't want to say something out of turn, but they were basically saying that she wasn't pregnant. She never has been. So I haven't seen that part yet. Also, When we get all done, make sure if you haven't done your digging about who her parents are, oh yeah, go check out who Erica's parents are.
But it's because it was a moment very sacred. I was growing a human inside of me, my baby. The world that Charlie and I live in is very toxic at times.
Yeah.
And when you are growing a beautiful child in you, I don't want to be around it. I want to enjoy eating my In-N-Out burger and my hot fudge sundae. That's what I want to do. I'm pregnant and I have 9 months to own it. You really think I'm going to be on an Egyptian plane while I'm wanting to be with my In-N-Out burger and my chocolate milkshake? No, I'm not. So if you want to go through my flight log, go right ahead. It's very boring. You say I was here on this date. I have a photo in my phone to prove that I actually was in the hospital because I was having contractions. So game on.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time,
Watch
an
your
employee
face.
of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these
No,
lies.
Candace was
What
a
do you want to
millionaire
say
before then,
to
you
her
dumb
and the
bitch.
other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop.
Okay, no, we're going
That's it.
back.
That's all I have to say.
We got to do it.
Stop.
Other people that are off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Okay. The next question comes from a person who may be familiar to you, Erica, because Charlie interviewed him for his show last August.
Okay. Watch. I want you to watch her face. It was stop with Sybil right there behind her eyeballs. We all seen it, right? And then she looks over in the crowd and she smiles. Just a little smirk. I want you to pay attention. I'm telling you, that shit ain't normal. I don't give a fuck what kind of grieving you're gonna do. I'm telling you, that ain't normal.
Stop.
Okay. The next question
Watch her.
comes from a person who may be familiar to you, Erica.
Right there.
Because Charlie
See
interviewed
her?
him for his show.
That is her looking at somebody smirking, going, right on. Okay, got it. Got it. Pass that test.
Last August. Rob Henderson, to you.
Thank you, Barry, and thank you, Erica. During that discussion with Charlie, neither of us knew that was going to be the last long-form interview he would ever conduct, because his life was cut short by the actions of a very disturbed young man. As someone who admired Charlie's ability to offer young people a productive and optimistic path, I wanted to ask, how should the conservative movement think about cultivating leaders and role models for young men, and how can it continue offering them a constructive alternative to the toxic currents Charlie so astutely criticized?
It's a great question. First of all, your interview was amazing. It's one of my favorite ones to look back on. Charlie connected with you very well. And I can always tell when he does on his show. I've always watched his show. And I could always tell because his questions and his engagement would shift. And he always loved that conversation with you. As the CEO of Turning Point USA, it is my responsibility to make sure that our youth is in good hands. Our chapter leaders are amazing. And there's some leaders within those groups you guys have not even seen or heard about yet. But you will one day. And you'll be blown away because they are amazing kids. We had 2 of them at our gala event this weekend, and they spoke in front of our donors. It was the first time I ever met them. Phenomenal kids. Not only are they smart, they have a heart. Not only do they have a heart, they can understand and see the Gen Z landscape in a way that we can't. And from a peer-to-peer communication level, they're phenomenal. So I personally, having a front row seat to the rising generation, the courageous generation, they're amazing. Yes, there are bad apples. Millennials, we got them too. So do the baby boomers. So does Gen X. No one's escaping the bad apples. It's just the batch. But it is our responsibility, my responsibility, our team's responsibility to make sure that our chapters are cultivating those leaders. So when they leave high school and they decide not to go to college, they're in the workforce, being incredible people and incredible leaders. They might not be influencers. Not everyone's meant to. Everyone plays a very specific role. But they'll be someone in something very important, and they'll plant seeds. And that's all you have to do, is plant the seed. Yeah. And then let truth grow from there. But thank you again for the time that you spent with my husband on that final conversation. It meant a lot to him. It means a lot to me to be able to have that to show my babies one day.
Thanks, Rob. Coming up, should women focus on their careers or building their families? We'll ask Erica Kirk what she believes as a mom and now as a CEO.
Oh, you always know they're crazy as fuck when they're like that.
Welcome back. Erica, Charlie's last book, it wasn't about politics, it wasn't about policy. It was about the Jewish Sabbath, which he kept for 25 hours starting sundown on Friday night through sundown on Saturday night. What made Charlie so passionate about this subject?
He was on the verge of burnout, and he thought to himself, what can I be doing? And he always loved the 10 Commandments. And then he saw it, honoring the Sabbath. And he realized that if you don't, this one commandment, this one, if you don't honor it, you're the one who misses out on the gift, not God.
Are you keeping it?
I'm trying my best.
Is it helping?
It is. I feel close to him. I break it apart, though. So instead of a full 24 straight, I'll break it apart only because my mom's sick, and I need to be available because I'm her medical power of attorney, so I need to be available if something happens. And so I make it what works for me, but that's what was so beautiful about that. Charlie wasn't legalistic about it. He's like, make it your own.
Erica, you have made a lot of comments.
Wait, what? How'd Charlie tell her to make it her own? Wasn't she talking about Turning Point? Help. I'm going back. I don't know what the fuck she meant.
I make it what works for me, but that's what was so beautiful about that. And I need to be available because I'm her medical of a gift, not God.
Are you keeping it?
I'm trying my best. This one, if you don't honor it, you're the one who misses out on the gift, not God.
Are you keeping it?
I'm trying my best.
Is it helping?
It is. I feel close to him. I break it apart, though. So instead of a full 24 straight, I'll break it apart only because my mom's sick, and I need to be available because I'm her medical power of attorney, so I need to be available if something happens. And so I make it what works for me, but that's what was so beautiful about that. Charlie wasn't legalistic about it. He's like, make it your own.
Erica, you have made a lot of comments that a lot of people have noticed about women, suggesting, you know this,
right,
suggesting that women should get married young, that they should have children young, that they should prioritize family over their careers. And at the same time, you are now doing both. You now have 2 young children, I think both under the age of 3. And you're the CEO and chairwoman of Turning Point. Square that for us. Some people look at you.
She's the CEO and chairperson of Turning Point. She's of 3 of them, of 3 of the 4. And then some dude comes in out of nowhere. Just a minute, I'll tell you his name. He comes in out of nowhere and becomes the president / CEO, Bruce Eddy. Oh yeah, go look up that dude's credentials. And how he got wherever he is beyond me, because it's like he became rich at 23 and just knew everything. Never worked at the ground, from anything from the ground up. Always like, silver platter and, the gold spoon. I think you're right. No, I think you're right. No, I think you are absolutely right.
She's trying to make it a binary choice. You can be the trad wife or the girl boss, but look at her. She's having both. What do you say to them?
Right. Well, I didn't ask for this. Obviously it's a blessing that I view it as a blessing. It's a duty to my husband. But I was very happy being a stay-at-home mom. There's nothing wrong with being a mother. There's actually more beautiful and emotional and powerful job title, if you will, being a mother. And for me, I experienced what it was like living in New York, living that boss babe culture. But when I met Charlie and we had our babies, I was in it. That was all hands on deck. I would take that world in a heartbeat, always. But you know what? There was never any daylight between Charlie and I, and his mission was my mission. So stepping into this role is not so much a job title. This is not a 9-to-5 for me. This is something that I'm very passionate about because it's still a remaining breathing version of my husband, this Turning Point USA. So this organization is not just a company to me. And the staff and employees are not staff and employees, they're family. And so for me, it's a lot different and a lot deeper than a career. This is very personal. But yes, it is hard. But at the same day, it takes a village, and I have one heck of a village.
We have a woman here that has a question perfectly calibrated to this part of our conversation. I want to hand it over to Isabella Reggi.
Thank you. And Erica, you and your family are in my prayers.
Thank you.
I'm a 26-year-old Christian woman living in New York City. I would like to stay here long term, but I wonder whether it's sustainable. Do you believe there's a place for women like myself in modern cities who care about having a career, but also marrying a like-minded Christian conservative man?
Well, yeah, so it just depends on where you're looking. You know, if you're on the apps, I don't know if you're on the apps. I don't know if, I'm not going to ask you your personal journey, but what I will say is when I lived out here, I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than go, I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way. But I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. So it goes twofold here. So if you're expecting to marry someone that I was blessed with, like a Charlie, you have to be the type of woman that will attract a Charlie. Are you going to church? Are you going to Bible study? Did you tell your pastor that you are ready for the Lord to bring into your life the man that you've been praying for? You yourself need to be prepared for that man, and only you will know how to do that. Does that mean staying out and going out with the girls? I'm not saying you sit on your couch and all of a sudden he's going to knock on your door and be like, honey, let's rendezvous. Like, that's not how it happens. It's not. Granted, my situation was a little different. I went to it.
You went to a job interview.
Literally. So this is how good the Lord is. He knew that because I was not dating in New York City, he knew that.
Because nobody has heard this story 700 times. Me too, Nathan. I need a drink.
In order for me to know that that was my man, he had to blanket Charlie as a job interview. Because if that went in, no joke, if he came to me and said, hey, let's go on a date to Bill's Burgers, I'd be like, I am so sorry. Thank you, but no, we're not doing this. That was my mindset. I was not in that headspace. I just wasn't. But God will work in incredible ways when you surrender the pen for him to write your love story. And when you know that, look, if I remain in the jet stream of God's will, he will provide for me in ways I cannot even imagine. And that is my prayer for you. My prayer for you is to remain open and to remain prayerful and to let people around you know, old school style, I'm ready and I'm looking to get married and having a family. You can always have your career. Being able to have a family truly is a very limited, short window. You can start your career. If you have people and it's amazing business, have other people run it, you can still manage it. You can still pour into it, but you have your babies. And then once your babies are grown and the nest is empty, go back to your career. There's nothing wrong with that. If you don't have a career, you have your babies, the Lord's going to inspire something inside of you that you're like, you know what? There's a problem. I have a solution. How many baby companies have been born out of moms? You know, like the little carrier seat or a stroller. Or
we live for that carrier seat.
Right, 100%. I'm not trying to plug them for like something. So I'm just trying not to even say the name. But you understand my sentiment is that there's something really special and beautiful about making sure that you are the woman that your future husband deserves and vice versa. Do not settle.
Thank you.
Thanks, Isabella. Up next, the emotional moment that Erica Kirk forgave her husband's alleged murderer. Stay with us.
I forgive him.
I forgive him because it was what Christ did and is what Charlie would do.
Erica, that moment that we just watched. Was unforgettable. I was one of millions of people across the world that watched you get up on that stage and forgive the man who murdered your husband. And I think a lot of people looked at it and thought, this is incomprehensible. It's almost baffling. And I want you to speak to those who are unable to understand, really, that act of grace.
Did you see her changing her
How is
eyes?
it possible
Oh, they
that you can
changed.
forgive the person
They
that
cut
murdered
it
your
out.
husband?
Watch.
That you can forgive, really, that act of grace. Those who, it's almost,
Okay,
it's
watch.
almost
They
baffling.
cut it out.
And I want you to speak to those who are unable to understand, really, that act of grace.
Right there.
How is it possible that you can forgive the person that murdered your husband?
I'm not forgetting what he did. I'm not condoning what he did. What he did is sick and evil. So sick and evil. What I am doing is releasing myself from the enemy's hands, where he could have a foothold in me, and he could be able to just, like I said earlier, you have a choice. Am I going to take that moment? And I will never say anything I don't mean. I really prayed on that moment. That was a game time decision. I'll never say what I don't mean. But am I going to take that moment?
See that right there? Look at her. That fucking shit is all an act. I don't care what anybody says, man. I can read people, and that shit, she's lying straight through her teeth.
To say, rally the troops.
When I mean lying, I mean she's not being truthful to herself. I don't give a shit about, but when you have to make different faces and all that shit, all because there's people and the cameras and this and that, that's fake. That's phony shit.
Burn the city down, march in the streets? Or am I going to take that moment and unleash something like we talked about, even greater, more powerful, and say, it's a revival? And let that unleash and let the Lord use it in ways that no one else could have ever imagined.
If you were to meet the man, I won't name him again, accused of murdering your husband, do you know what you would say to him?
Nothing.
You would say nothing.
I have nothing to say to you. Nothing.
Is there a difference, Erica, between forgiving someone in a religious and spiritual sense, but also
think
wanting
she's
justice
part
for them
lizard.
here on earth?
No, of course.
Watch your eyeballs.
But we serve a just God.
See?
And I rest easy in knowing that. He's sovereign, but he's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
Okay, we're going back over that. I want you to pay attention. She's talking about God. She's talking about the Lord and how he's the greatest thing. And watch her face.
Forgiving someone in a religious and spiritual sense, but also wanting justice for them here on earth?
No, of course. But we serve a just God. And I rest easy in knowing that. He's sovereign, but he's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
I want to bring in our final audience question for tonight.
I am not a godly person. That might be something I would do. But not for the innocent little Charlie's wife who is all that and a bag of offerings. That's not what she's supposed to. I mean, hello, let's be honest here.
Tonight, I want to turn it over to Joe Lavoie.
Hi, thank you. Your faith in this process has been inspiring, and that inspires this question. How are you able to trust God amidst unfair and immense suffering?
One of my favorite books in the Bible is the book of Job.
Wait. One of my favorite book in the Bible is the book of Job. Okay. I just needed to do that. I feel better.
What's so powerful about that book is that you read it and you go along and you say, how could bad things happen to good people? But what happens at the end of that book? God does restore. He does. Even more so than Job had prior. But when did that happen? It happened when Job prayed for his friends. Even though they were against him, even though there was all this drama, he prayed for his friends. You can call them enemies. That's not saying, oh, Lord, my enemies, like, no. There's boldness in being able to say, Lord, do what only you can do. And the Lord restored what Job had lost. That's how.
We'll be right back. I want to thank Erica.
Okay, and before we go, we are going to compare eyes. Okay, because that's not just crazy eyes. I'm telling you, Chris, you watch.
Kirk so much for joining me tonight. And I also want to thank our audience for participating in this town hall. CBS News is going to have many more conversations like this in the weeks and months ahead. So stay tuned. More town halls, more debates, more talking about the things that matter. I'm Barry Weiss, here in New York. Good night.
Oh. Oh, she's got lots more talking she's doing, but that's okay. We don't need to see that. Just a minute. Let me figure what the hell I'm doing here. Shut that out. And now... Okay. Just show me the difference here. I just want you to see. Tell me there is not a difference. I understand that she's been through some shit. I get it. But look at her eyes there. Here. And then I want you to think back to what she looked like just a little bit ago there. Okay? Look at her eyes here. Those are not crazy eyes. Right there. That just happened. She looked like, I mean, her hair was all fucked up, but her eyes weren't. What the hell's happened? Oh, let's look at this one. Remember this one? If I ran my fingers through some dude's hair like that, Marvin would chop my hand off. Yeah, I'm telling you. Oh, look. Oh, also, let's not forget the leather pants. Can you see this? Let me see here. Do you see the leather pants? She just lost her husband. That was the same day. I just, something's funky. I don't care what anybody says. There's something funky. But, you know, who am I to judge? Doesn't matter, I'm going to do it anyway. So, what else do I know? I know lots of shit about the Charlie case. I also know that Friday, I believe, we are going to have a really fun show. And I think that it's going to be on Krampus and the like. So, like, there's some other ones anyway. So, y'all make sure you show up for that. Should be fun. Oh, look. There's LW. What are you doing?
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right.
Oh. Yeah,
How was you? You were about to say, I didn't mean to interrupt. You're about to say
You're
something
fine.
that you know, but I know that's not true.
I think that we're going to do Krampus on Friday night. Did Fools talk to you about that?
The what?
Krampus.
Okay.
We were going to all go backstage last night, and then he never did call me. So, we were just going to go backstage last night and talk about it, but he never did call, so I figured he just got busy and didn't do it. And then he asked me if I was doing a stream tonight, so I thought he'd come up and then we could talk about it afterwards, but I haven't seen him.
I guess Saint Nick would be good for the time.
Yeah, well, you know, the whole Krampus thing, like, I didn't know a whole lot about the whole thing, but It sounds like basically it's like Santa, but a little different, and it's like a little more on the evil side, along with.
Is that me?
No,
Or
that's
who's-
me. That's my fan. Cause
Oh, I thought somebody was vacuuming.
No, I'm purging. Just give me a minute. It's a power surge. I just got to get through it here. Take me about 3 seconds and it'll go away. But Bell's Nickel is one, and it's from Germany, and it's basically the same type thing. Anyways, I don't want to talk about a lot of it because I think we're going to talk about it on Friday night. But it's kind of interesting. If you
Well,
look up,
if I'm there, it'll be
You'll be there.
50-50.
you'll be there. You'll just show up late. We're not scared, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I joined when you started vacuuming. It really is awesome.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it'll be done in a minute.
It's great on the ears.
Okay, is it gone?
Yeah. Sounds like a handy vac.
It's a fan. But it's like all of a sudden I'll just have a hot flash from hell.
Oh, geez. 39-year-old hot flashes.
I know,
flashes
it's awful.
can be brutal, I hear.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you what, I could pretty much like warm up this side of the United States when I have a power surge.
So global warming came from your hot flashes.
Exactly. I can melt icebergs for certain. Yeah. So, it's the warm wine. I didn't do any warm wine. I got it out there, but I didn't do any. Okay, I'll shut it off now that I'm done vacuuming.
Well, I don't want you to pass out or anything. I can
No,
leave
I'm
so
fine.
you can vacuum in peace.
No, I'm good. What else do I know?
You don't
The
know
whole
shit.
Erica thing. Okay, so what did you vote?
What did I
you
vote?
She flipped
Who?
in the poll. Whether
Flipped?
Candace flipped. You didn't even look at the fucking poll, did you?
Listen, man, there's so much money passed around. Who knows? She probably showed up at that hotel and there was a suitcase of cash. Be like, shut the fuck up. She's like, all right, I'll chill out.
See, that's kind of what I wonder if that didn't happen. Because her attitude seems just a little bit different.
Hold on,
Not
let me,
totally, but
let me turn off my TV real quick. Hold on.
okay. LW gives good voice. LW gives good voice. I thought you were going to say something else there for a minute. No shoes. Give good voice. He always takes one for the team, Mr. Duggar. Shit, I wondered why he wasn't up here. Fuck.
Who?
Mr. Duggar. I see he was in chat, and normally he would come up here, and I didn't see him. But now I know why. Because again, I forgot to send out. I always wait until I get the string going, and then I send out the rest of my links. That way, you know, I'm sending them out a little at a time, and well, I space it off. So half the time, half the people don't get the link. I'm like, oops, shit. I forgot you, but I remembered just now.
Remembered.
I remembered.
Well, just to the whole thing, none of it makes any sense, man.
I know.
Like somebody said today, we know more history about Rob Reiner's son in like 6 hours than we know about the Charlie Kirk shooter, the kid who tried to kill Trump, the Vegas shooter. I mean, that was years ago. You don't know shit about that.
Yep.
It's just, you know, I think people would stop asking questions if everything didn't fucking look so strange, you know?
Right. Well, it does kind of amaze me how people just be like, okay, well, we won't talk about that no more. Like, I'll beat a dead horse, and then I'll get it up, revive it, and then I'll beat it again. I'm really, I mean, you can ask Marv. He's like, oh my God, who cares? I don't understand how people can just look the other way with shit.
Well, there's nothing you can do about it. I get that point of it, because that's where I kind of just look at this stuff at this point as really more entertainment than anything. It's like watching a movie, you know.
Right? I seen you say that in chat. It's like a movie. It is kind of.
Like when I turn on Twitter, let's see what bullshit they're going to say today about some
Right?
stuff. But it's just the whole thing. Like, what does that Barry Weiss talk about? She's talking about anti-Semitism. Well, of course she's Jewish, and they seem to be putting people in charge everywhere now, like her, to run CBS, that don't want anybody to ask questions about anything. Like, do you ever wonder why you turn on the news and it's just Benjamin Netanyahu talking shit about America all the time?
Mm-hmm. The other thing that I don't get is, so before the last time Trump was president, if this would have happened while he was president, I don't feel like CBS would have brought Erica in and asked her questions or any of that. Why are they this time and being so nicey and like they're her friend and something? Again, it seems very fishy to me.
Well, it's just like everything that they're telling you what to believe.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Like Barry Weiss said in that thing, she said, this is just an open and shut case. It's pretty simple. Well, how can it be open and shut when no evidence has even been presented in court yet?
Exactly.
How do we know what the evidence is? We haven't seen it yet. So that's just a weird statement all by itself. Because they're telling everybody what to think. If they say it long enough, everybody will. It'll be embedded in their brain. Oh, well, the evidence is overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it 900 times, like a subliminal message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I definitely feel like the brainwashing is just none of it's stopping. It's, I really thought that things were going to be a little bit different this next 4 years, and I was sadly mistaken.
Well, and here's a perfect example. So the guy that they say shot him, he was a far lefty who had a boyfriend who was a furry and trans. And their response into that shooting from her and all of her company and everything like that is to combat anti-Semitism, to stop this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a guy, a far lefty guy with a furry trans boyfriend who did it because he was mad at Charlie for being anti-trans.
Mm-hmm.
So why are they mad at the people who questioned giving money to Israel? You see what I'm saying?
Yep, makes no sense. I didn't understand why they started bringing that up to be the whole anti-Semitic. I never understood why they brought it up to begin with. It made no sense to me. Until, of course, I started to hear other things about Israel and her connection with it. I mean, when you figure out who her parents are and that whole fucking fiasco, oh, Lord. There's some pretty close connections between her parents and Israel and that whole thing.
Right, and that's a whole religious thing too. Like, I'm sure there's people in the chat, and Mr. Duggar, for one, is going to disagree with me in our view of that stuff, and that's fine. Everybody has a right to their own opinion, but I read it completely different. And
here he comes.
Oh, is he?
Hellbent election.
We're gonna argue about the same shit over and over again, and then he's gonna end up getting mad and start talking.
Do you
about
enjoy your monkey with a marmalade or not?
See, we're gonna talk about chili and fucking goddamn hunting squirrel at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, do I offend you or something there, comrade?
No, I'm just chopping you.
Comrade.
I'm just
He
busting your
started on me
balls,
right
man.
off the bat, like I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Come on, bro.
Busting
How
your
you
balls,
doing?
man.
Now, let's say hello first. How you doing, bro?
Good. How about you, brother?
You said it in chat.
I'm kind of pissed off at you, LW, for fucking with me, coming
What
up
I
here
do?
like that. I'm gonna be honest, Dodge.
He just wanted to get his
I'm
lick
doing
in
fine, man.
first.
Good to see you. I hope everything's well with you and yours.
You should see some of the things I tweet traveling fools.
Oh yeah, he's scared.
You should see some of the shit he sends me.
I mean, all I do is make fun of these people, and they make fun back. That's all we do is make fun of each other.
Dude, I'm telling you, and he's got a way more to be made fun about than I do. So.
Yeah, we're kind of bad about that.
The only time he gets out of the house to go find matching outfits are him and that puppy.
Right.
Who, me?
We ain't talking to you. We're just talking about you.
I did. I got a pink belt to match her pink leash.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's too cool. I love little yippy dogs like that, man.
It's not a
You don't
pink
think you
belt,
will, then
LW.
they'll just grow on you like a freckle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or wart or whatever you want to call it. I like little dogs. I'm a dachshund fan, big time dachshund. But
It's
even
not
with their
belt.
little low transmissions,
Yeah.
So have y'all got out all your Candace and Erica shit out? Gone? Done?
How did you vote?
How did I vote?
Yeah.
He voted for
Trump.
Voted for Kamala.
Fucking dummy. Did you vote that Candace flipped or not? Yes or no? Did you click yes
That's
or
being
no?
a bit nosy. Yeah, I mean,
Answer the fucking question. This
voting
ain't
in
a
that kind of
presidential
private.
vote.
He wants
Really?
his privacy. He went behind the curtains to vote, and he doesn't want to.
That ain't what he was doing behind the curtains. I seen him moving.
All night long.
And it had rhythm to it, so it had nothing to
Yes,
do
sir.
with
You know it had
voting.
rhythm. Love me some collard green. What's happening, y'all? Y'all having fun tonight? Y'all just besides this Candace thing, all that bumming shit. If I was Erica, I'd just get out of the news all completely and go raise my kids. And when they start getting up a little bit, and then maybe, venture back in there. So let all this shit heal for a little bit. Not, don't come into the fight right now when you got two, kids to worry about.
Well, do you think it's strange that 8 days before Charlie was murdered that he called for a Doge-like audit and he got rid of one of the COOs?
Oh yeah, at Charlie's Turning Point.
Yes, and then that whole Doge audit went away. They're not.
I surely
doing that
think that's
now.
why they whacked him. That's been my theory all along since I heard that he ordered that Doge.
Well, he definitely was
Allegedly.
wondering that he's wondering where I watched a video and they gave receipts on everything, like how much he made, how much all four companies made, how much he paid himself, which was under $400,000, and his companies made I can't remember what the number was, but it was in the millions. But that was one of the reasons that he decided that it was time to do an audit, was because he had 100 and some employees, and for the amount of money that they had brought in, that meant every employee would have been making $172,000 apiece. And he was like, "What in the hell?" So he needed to go. That's why he decided it was
Yeah.
time to do an audit. And now the audit is not happening. Seems a little strange to me.
Well, it's always the biggest thing when it comes to money is where did it go? How was it spent? Who's in control of it? That's always, an audit should be on running. That's where people are crazy. It's 7 years, time to audit. No, you should be auditing every day. There's systems that, that are quite old that can give you an audit system for your day by day, what's going on, where it's going. There's always some kind of trail.
He was such a young kid that I really think, and I know he wasn't a kid, but he was a very young entrepreneur. And I don't think he realized just how quickly he grew. And how, I think it was kind of like knee-jerk reactions. It was kind of, I'm sure he would go to his CPAs and, his business people, and they'd say, well, you're going to have to start up another business so we can roll money around in a different spot. This is, this isn't working. So I'm sure that's kind of why there became 1 business, 2 business, 3 business, 4 business. I'm sure that's what happened. But in that whole process, it's like anything else, it becomes a snowball before you know it. And then it's like, oh, fuck, I better deal with this. Let me check it out. Let me see what's going on. I better do an audit. So I can, and I'm sure from that point on, he probably would have had an audit quite frequently to make sure that everything stayed above board. But I definitely think there was a lot of shady shit going on.
I think what they ought to do is try to find the connected furry somewhere around the people that work in that office, because the guy loved the furries, and there's been they're a mean little group, so. They got badgers and shit, Well,
that's one of the problems. You said he's an entrepreneur, which he was. But that's part of the problem with politics. That shouldn't be a business to get into.
That's one of the smartest things I ever heard you say.
Well,
because that's you're true. I totally 110% agree.
Because it just shouldn't be because once let's say, you start going in one way, you have to keep going that way. Even if the politicians do something against you, well, now you have a business that train is going down a one-way track on how you got your customers. Because that's how you have to look at it. If it's a business, you can't piss these customers off. So you have to keep saying shit that is wrong, but you have to keep going that way because you don't want to lose your business and fire your employees and stuff like that. So right there, you're off track. 2, it invites special interest groups and politicians to pay you off, or you pay them. It's I don't know. Politics it shouldn't be a business like that.
Yeah, especially on the the salary you get them, and so many of them turn that into 30 million over a 4 or 5 year span, 3 year span. It's crazy. The term limit, that's what you're supposed to come in, done a couple of tours and get the hell out. Train the next person that's going to go in there. But that's not the way it is. You got career politicians, and I think that's, I don't mind you going from Congress to senator to vice president to president or whatever, That's succession of you're showing you have leadership capabilities, and but to just, we're going to park him here and he's going to, be in charge until he dies. That's ridiculous, like McConnell, Good Lord, dude.
Well, I definitely think that with the Turning Point and all of Charlie's businesses, one of the things that I think was a red flag for him was he had no idea that they had put his company into the stock market.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear
So
about that.
and part of that problem is that's what I mean about it growing so fast that I think he put people in place and went, okay, I'm going to trust you to do this, and I'm going to trust you to do this. And he kind of trusted too many people. And I have a feeling that might have been one of the biggest part of the culprits. I have lots of questions regarding Erica and all that, the whole business side of it, because something definitely seems very shady with it.
Well, as far as her, like, I don't know what's true or not, but her biggest problem, and I don't know how anybody hasn't pulled her aside, she just doesn't come across as organic or authentic.
Mm-hmm.
She comes across as like she's rehearsing for a movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest problem. I think she, like Mr. Duggar, I think people should tell her to just go away for a while,
Yeah.
Well, and she used to seem very authentic. Like the difference between, and I understand that people grieving do strange shit. I get that. But I don't think they do that. And I know that's me judging somebody that's grieving, and I always said I wouldn't do that. But, she pulled that card when the fireworks came out at his memorial.
And I think her background might be part of that. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate that she's not some piece of shit person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have my own thoughts that I think are weird, but she was a model. Like, she was well known. It was not like she was like this nobody that he met at like the grocery store. I mean, she was like a model.
But she tries to make off like it was just somebody she met for a job.
She's been pictured at Mar-a-Lago, like
Trump had her hired.
I don't know how many times, years before she even met him. So it's not like she's like some new. And she was trying to be an actress. She's done a couple reality shows. So I think when she goes on TV, she thinks she has to act a certain way, and it just comes across. This is just devil's advocate. It may be this, that she just comes across as trying to act a certain way on how she think people want to see her, instead of just being real.
You may be very well right that she's really not phony, but she's coming across that way because of that whole acting thing and wanting, like you said, when she gets in front of a camera, she got to put on the show.
Right.
Well, she's not a dummy. She's very articulate, and old man said she comes across like a bitch wife. And I disagree with that from what I've heard about their relationship. That,
I know, but we're talking right now. Back then,
that's what I'm talking about. Though is she does have to come out strong. It's. I mean, she's got.
Don't.
But
I'm gonna go get a drink.
I don't know. She sounded kind of strong to me. What little I listened to it, and
before she acted like the very innocent and June Cleaver, religious, Susie Homemaker type of woman, and now she's coming off like she's this big businesswoman that's, full of piss and vinegar because her husband was murdered, and now she's going to show us all. And I think LW has a very good point that this could be her whole acting thing.
Yeah.
Because that was what she was trying for. That could be why she pulls that off. Because I'm telling you, watching her facial expressions pisses me off more than anything. Because she seems disingenuous.
She just got thrown into the arena of having to defend her husband all the time without him as backup, and as far as their businesses and stuff, she's kind of like was pushed to the front of the battle too.
Well, see, but that's where I think you're wrong. Is she hasn't had to defend Charlie at all. Nobody's pointing at Charlie. The only people that pointed at Charlie was whoever pointed that goddamn gun at him.
Yeah.
Nobody else is pointing bad at Charlie. Most of the people are pointing bad at how shit went down, as in the people around him and how they
Yeah.
reacted when that shit went down, and then the after effects, how people are acting after Charlie has died. It's not she's not defending Charlie. I mean, she can make it sound like she is, but that's not what she's defending. She's defending her Turning Point family. And she's
Yeah.
told us that.
That's what I was talking about. She feels like she's got to be the face of the company now.
Yeah, well, that's not
Or
a
something,
family.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a family, and, you know,
Or that
again,
she's high up in the hierarchy of it or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And there is a lot of lies. There's things that she said, and then she's, you know, we found out differently. And she's not really admitted to any of them, but we found out differently. I mean, that's what I mean about a lot of shit that Candace has brought up. I mean, Candace comes with a lot of receipts. She's not just talking out her ass.
And she'll damn sure stand up for herself. And
Oh,
what she believes
holy
in.
shit, she will. I'm telling you what, man, she's a little firecracker. And I really like Candace. I like how she handles a lot of things, but I'm very frustrated that after she met with these people, number one, meeting with them behind closed doors was stupid, because now, why would we take your word for it any more than we're going to take anybody else's word for it? We all want proof. We're those type of people. We do not take somebody's word for shit anymore. We want to see it ourselves. So.
You know, I haven't been following it so closely that I obsessed over it or anything, so I'm still kind of really, really still sad that somebody put a bullet through Kirk's neck, you know, and
Oh, it's awful.
it's
It's
just
awful. I mean,
it's a bleeding for our country still to lose such a patriot, such a man, such a good thing in life, you know. I'm not saying he was Jesus, but I could tell you by the way he talked that he was a very thought out man, and he chose his words most of the time very carefully. But there's a lot of things he kept pushing to him. He goes, name one thing in the Bible that you can prove wrong, you know, that kind of stuff. And it did make them start stuttering all over themselves. So, but he just had a light about him, and he was two kids' daddy. That pisses me off, man.
yeah. Yeah, the whole thing with Charlie is very, I mean, that was hard for anybody to deal with. But if you knew anything about him, if you followed him at all, that was crushing. I mean, to see it just about took your breath away. My problem is how, and I hate judging people on grieving. I do. But it's not just about Erica. It's about the people that were surrounding him and how they reacted through all this, the lies that have came out. There are so many lies about the people that surround him that it's just, I mean, it goes on for days. The guy that said he had, you know, his dad said, oh, he had blood all over his hands and da-da-da. The guy never touched Charlie. But he made it sound like he had helped trying to save Charlie. The guy never touched Charlie. He had his phone in his hand, he put it up to his ear and called his wife. So there's lots of just discrepancies that go on down the line that really make you go, And it's also why you really shouldn't say shit when stuff like this comes out if you really don't know if you're that close to the whole situation. Because, you know, like with that, his dad said he had blood on his hands and he didn't. I mean, I'm trying to think of what the kid's name was. Jake. Maybe Jake. I can't remember what his name is.
Jake at State Farm?
Jake at State Farm.
Damn, you beat me to it.
Rob. Yep. Thank you. See, no, on that shit. So, yep. And and his dad's the fake pastor. Yes. See, Nobits knows it all. Yeah.
Goodness. I just, like I say, I haven't followed it so obsessively close that I could have a lot of real meaningful comment about it. I know I've listened to quite a bit of it. I listened to him, Charlie, when he used to talk. And then to find out the day he got shot, it was pitiful, and just all the conspiracy started flying. I followed it for a little bit, and that kind of like just, I don't know.
All I know is I only go by my instincts and my experience in life as far as viewing this political shit or whatever in my almost 50 years. Ew, almost 50, gross. 39, I mean, 40. I'm almost 40.
Shut the hell up, dude. Fuck, in
Is that
3 seconds you just blew everything.
When everybody says you can't talk about a certain thing, that means something's not on the uptick.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's almost 100%. When you can't speak of it, and you should be silenced and
or guarded,
you're cast out as a conspiracy theorist. Usually, you're on to something. I don't know what you're on to, but you're on to something.
Yep. That's exactly why I started paying attention to what Candace was saying when all this, because she was the one that kept going, no, wait. I mean, at first she was just like, because she was really heartbroken. That was somebody, she really did like Charlie. I know they had their separate ways and they went their separate ways, but that don't mean shit. Just because people go their separate ways doesn't mean they hate each other. And even if they were on the outs with each other, you still don't want to see, one of your friends, something like that happen to them. And so she was very upset, but she started asking questions like, wait, what? To her, things immediately didn't start making sense. And so she was very quick to ask questions. And I'm sorry, but if something like that happened to me, I'd hope somebody would go, wait, what? They'd probably go, that bitch deserved it. But regardless, I'd want the question asked.
Well, even if you did deserve it, who are they to implement retaliatory and deadly force? What right have they got to take another person's life?
Right. And she might believe. It's not even like. I still go with the. I don't know. She might think she needs to play a part or something.
Yeah.
But, it's just other stuff, and she might believe. If the authorities are telling her this is what happened, right. She might believe it and be like, well, what is everybody talking about? This is what the police told me. She might have some trust in the government and police that I don't have. So that's a big difference.
Yep.
But it's other stuff. It's
exactly. It's the other situations that make me question all of it. Like, for instance, how come they redid that area right where he was murdered at?
They were taking down the cameras like right after it happened.
The second. Wait. They didn't take down the camera. They took out the SD card. They left the camera, but then turned around and said, well, we took them because we didn't want the cameras to get stolen or the SD card to get stolen. But you didn't care about the camera?
And how they, right where he was sitting, the same week, I think before his funeral, before he was even in the ground, they like redid that whole area. They repaved it. They built over it. Like it was gone.
Yep.
And you don't see that in criminal investigations very much.
Nope.
If at all. They try to preserve it as long as possible. Because here's the thing. The reason they don't do that, the defense has the legal right to go and investigate the crime scene as well and take pictures and do all that stuff.
And now they can't.
what are they taking pictures of?
Yeah.
It's not even the same thing as. So it's all stuff like that to me that is just so fucking strange. That just never happens.
Well, and the whole thing with like Erica and Kansas having this meeting in it, why would you do it behind closed doors? Why would you do that? First they said, okay, Candace, come and do it live, and so she could ask the questions. The whole idea was to let the American people, know what they know, and know that those shady people that we believe are shady and with Turning Point, that there was good reasons for whatever it was they said, did, or lied about, or whatever. And that didn't happen because, Candace said no, she couldn't go there. And then then Erica said, okay, I'll come to Nashville, but we're doing it behind closed doors with no cameras. Sorry, you lost me. That's shady shit. And now you come back and say, trust me, for everything I tell you is true. I wouldn't do that to you. No, I don't know, dude. I don't know that you wouldn't lie to me. You're just Candace fucking Owens. I don't know.
Like Ma says, is it truly our business? Well, the only reason it is our business is because Charlie Kirk was on. Every time you turned on YouTube, he was there. It's all over the news. Turn on Twitter, you had to see him get shot in the neck.
Yep.
And CBS News is bringing her up, and it's just all, it was forced upon us. Like we didn't. Mm-hmm. I didn't ask to know who these people were.
Well, and these are public people. They're, extremely public. There's no way to, get away from it.
Yeah, they went to the White House and took presidents with they're part of the system. They're part of the
Trump
thing,
announced that he died.
That's not,
Yeah, so I don't know. I think there's definitely a lot more questions than answers, even through all of the. Even after this, it's like, okay, well, now we just got more shit we want to know about.
And then the second thing, the crime scene, just covering it, like just totally changing it. The guy hadn't even been arrested 2 days, and they were already covering the crime scene up.
Yep.
With concrete and building it different. And
well, that's the new way. Ever since they shot Trump up in Butler, and they were hosing down the roof the next day,
Right. But the second thing is how he was starting to question a little bit of things. And he went to Trump, and he was one that asked him, please don't get involved in this bomb in Iran thing. That's well known. Mm-hmm. That's not like a conspiracy theory or anything like that. And he was starting to question a lot of things going on over there in that war in that part of the world. And he was starting to question the influence Israel has over the United States government. And then when he started to really heat up with that, he was dead. And then after he's died, and other people took it over, their entire mission now is to shut people up questioning anything about Israel. So their guy that they love so much, that ran the damn thing, had questions about it. He's dead, and they've totally shut that down and have gone completely the other side, almost to the point they're saying people should get arrested if, like, it's hate speech, and people should be charged on the internet if they ask any questions about Israel. Yeah. So it's just like this completely. It's two different planets from when he was alive. Now that he's dead, it's two different companies.
Yeah. Yeah, because Charlie would have never stood for that. Charlie was all about, no, come up here, and like what Erica was saying to Barry about, he would, tell us to come, or he would tell, the person from the back to come up, and he wanted to talk to him and let him talk, and no, don't bash the dude, let him talk, and this is an open forum, and la la la, and Charlie was like that, totally. So how come that's all changed? Why all the secretive? and the backdoor shit. And, yeah.
Because they want to keep the college students and stuff under their spell. They still want to bleed in propaganda and mind fuck them. And that includes both sides, you know? So, I mean, that's one of the reasons. That's why the shish.
You're probably right.
I guess I'm just one of those personalities. When you tell me I can't talk about something, I'm going to immediately want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's Baker.
I want to find out why you don't want me to talk about it.
That's how I bring Baker out, as I fuck with my audio. And then
you missed the part
up.
Earlier where she turned on. She started vacuuming midstream. Baker.
Yeah, here.
Midstream, Baker. He's not kidding.
Here, Baker. Did you want to hear some of that? Here, let me. There. I didn't want him to miss out on it. Where's Fools, so we can trigger him too.
Oh my God.
All right, Mr. Duggar, now's your chance to shit on her for her shitty audio.
That's right. No, my audio's better. I fixed it. Fucker.
I'm not, I have no right to jump anybody by their audio.
Oh, come on. Get revenge on her.
Baker, you just
Except for Gutter Girl, that was pretty bullshit, man. It really was. That was like third grade. Oh my God. You get the snob that was bullshit award.
Me?
I didn't stutter.
For what?
I don't know, breaking out the old vacuum there and getting the last few cocaine crumbles out of the carpet.
That ain't how you do that, is it?
I don't know.
You don't turn on the fan. Oh, fine, Baker. Leave. How dare you? Come in here, give me shit, and just leave. I sent you a link.
I like it. Arrive, fuck shit up, leave.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, yes. So lots of good shit.
Not vacuum me some sandwiches, lady.
Yeah.
No. I'm
Now,
not
what about
making sandwiches?
Okay,
now, what are your thoughts on the controversial statements by Mr. Trump on Rob Reiner's death? What do y'all think about that?
I missed it. What did he say?
He basically said, good, I'm glad he's dead.
No, he did not.
No, he did not. But he
pretty
said,
close.
The last thing he said, I hope they rest in peace. He started off really good.
He's right. He's right.
He started off really good too, telling what a wonderful actor he was, comedian and writer and producer, and giving his wife out her accolades there. But then he went to a Trump commercial after that.
Referred to himself in the third person.
Absolutely.
Talking about
it. Well, told him, he had, he died of psychological TDS and stuff like that. No, he died of his son slitting his throat. That sucks. And I have no humor part about that at all. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty.
Charles Barkley would say that's terrible. No, it is. But the point of the whole way he said that, I believe, is, here's a guy that he been going after him hard.
Doesn't matter. He's an actor. He's not a politician.
Exactly. Well, he's part of a group of people with let me say, Mr. Clapper and other CIA people, Banner, and they were part of a group that were always after Trump. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but the guy, he's allowed to voice his opinion.
And he did.
But I just thought it was pretty shitty. I mean, you have to have like some
I didn't agree with it at all, but you
have to have some sort of empathy because he died in one of the most horrible ways ever.
Yeah.
getting. I mean, it's not like getting shot from a far distance. You got stabbed to death.
Yeah, you got
Well, and I mean, that's pretty personal. First of all, you have to get very close to do that kind of thing.
think they might have locked him up in a closet a time or two.
No, I mean, they really tried to help that guy.
Yeah, he had drugs.
And his other two kids seemed perfectly normal, and it was a big thing for a long time with that guy. And then he doubled down in this video. He's like, I didn't like him. Fuck him.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. It was the Russia hoax. He was one of the
Hitler
people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country.
I mean,
how was he bad for? Okay, he was a liberal, so
that doesn't mean anything. If people are allowed to be liberals in our country. I mean, you can disagree with them all day, but
yes, true.
Well, he didn't say death to Rob Reiner. Yeah, I don't care for guys. So what?
Yeah,
but here's the thing.
I don't like fucking Brussels sprouts. Fuck it.
So don't fucking say anything. Here's my thing. It's not like I could maybe, and I wouldn't even, but just maybe if like he died of old age, natural causes and shit like that. But he died in a fucking gruesome, horrific way. Like either him or his wife, one of them got killed first. So one of them saw the other one get murdered by their son. They died in the most horrible way. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk about it at all. Don't plead
especially
about it.
publicly. I mean,
Just say
I have
what-
my own opinion on what I think probably his son was. And do I think it's because Rob didn't have balls and raised his kid right? Yeah, but I don't think he deserved anything like that. Or, I mean,
well, no, it's Hollywood.
not his fault.
He had three
was
kids.
35 years old. He wasn't a kid.
Well,
Right.
no, I mean, he had three kids, and it's Hollywood, and his kid got into drugs. I don't think that means that Rob Reiner was a bad guy, because even like Rob Schneider and all these conservative people, James Woods, who's super conservative, he's on Twitter all the time, talking about the crazy left. They were like very good friends, like they could separate it. So he wasn't like as lunatic, I think, as people think, but.
Well, I seen a couple interviews, and dude, that kid was nuts. I mean, and Rob Reiner was trying to make excuses for him, and the kid was like, "Fuck off," or whatever it was he said. And so, I mean, I literally stopped watching it because I was like, "Oh, you're kind of a little prick." I can definitely, I see exactly how the kid was raised, but it still doesn't mean that he gets to do anything like that to anybody, and certainly not his parents. Jesus.
It's just not, he talks about why he said today he's Jewish, Trump did, so I don't know. But you can't claim to pray and do all these Christian things and have that sort of reaction. I mean, it should not be nothing but, or say nothing.
We
You don't
better
have to-
tell
you-
Erica that.
You don't have to say, I'm praying for his family. And guess who discovered their bodies? His daughter. Like, imagine being the daughter. You walked into the house, both your parents are dead, and your brother did it. And you wake up the next day, and the president of the United States is shitting on your dad. It's just shitty.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
people
agree.
just need to fucking say
I
it.
agree.
I don't care how much you love Trump. It's shitty.
I agree with that. I agree.
Well, it's like I said, it just shouldn't, especially by somebody so prominent. It should definitely not be said. And I mean, that's awful for this family that have to go through all of what they have to go. I mean, this is not going to be over. This guy's going to go through a trial, and that family still, whether they go or not, they still have to be there. They're still going to know about it and hear about it. And I mean, that would be awful. Jesus, what a hard spot to be in.
Yeah, when I saw it on Twitter that what happened, I didn't have zero thought of his political views popped into my head. It's crazy to see people on Twitter. They were like, well, his politics sucked. It's like a whole paragraph about his politics suck. And then it's like, but RIP. I'm like, I didn't think that at all. I think we've gone too crazy, to be honest, but.
Well,
like,
there is a certain amount of respect that you're supposed to have, and you're not supposed to talk ill of the dead. And I mean, there are many things that we have kind of fallen wayside regarding morals and ethics. And I mean, we do need to get some of that back. Because I'm the first to say I have no filter, none.
Anyway, I was just curious what y'all thought.
Well, they're humans, you know. I think that's sad a day when the president of our country does that. I agree with you totally. I think it was a no class kind of move, and he didn't have class at that moment.
Well, it just shows a lack of empathy, because I think a normal person, I think anybody in the chat, would be the same way. I'm not trying to say that I'm like some fucking moral high ground here, but I think most people here would do the same thing. The first thing they'd think, be like, fuck, his daughter found him? Oh, his son killed him? Oh, my God.
Well, you know, it's like they both have big egos. Both of them had big egos. And, I mean, it was kind of like an all the time, 24-hour fist fight all the time between them two. Whether it was with words or with actions or undermining his presidency or Trump bitched about his movies. I don't know.
Well,
but it just, you know, I think it was a no class moment for Donald Trump to come out like that.
So it does. Trump did say on Truth Social, a very sad thing that happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle.
What does that mean, struggling? He was at a party the night before at Conan O'Brien's house.
Well, who gives a fuck? But it wasn't like mansion. He said, it wasn't like he danced on his fucking grave.
And then keep reading.
That's all it says.
No, it's like a whole paragraph.
Let me see here. Reportedly, due to anger, he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. Well, everybody makes it sound like he's dancing on somebody's grave.
Oh, Lord,
I mean, he's not. Yes, he shouldn't have said that. That was rude. But, I mean, I thought he said something really bad.
You just played a video where a reporter wanted to ask about what he tweeted, and his first response is, I didn't like him.
Well, what should he have said? What do you think he should have said? I loved him, and then later go, okay, about that Rob guy, I really couldn't stand him. He was a liberal, and I thought he was a piece of shit. I mean, what did you want him to say?
First of all, the reporter wouldn't ask him if he didn't do that fucking psychotic tweet where he refers to himself in the third person. He should just say, that's a terrible tragedy. I feel for his family. I pray for him. What's so fucking hard about that? He made here's the thing, Gigi. He made the entire thing about him. A dude was just murdered, his throat slit by his son. He made the whole thing about.
I don't know. I just wouldn't have analyzed it that much.
Well, everybody thinks it's shitty. There's only a few retards on Twitter, so it's pretty universal that people think it's shitty.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do see where somebody would be like, okay, that was rude, but not like, oh my God, you should have your heart ripped out and fucking stomped on because you said that about that dude.
He's the president of the United States. He's not a fucking podcaster.
Well, so he doesn't get to have his own opinions?
Can you imagine Ronald Reagan saying something like that?
Yeah, I hated that son of a bitch right from the beginning.
I don't know.
Mr. President, what do you feel about
no,
such and
we've
such
already
person?
determined that Trump has never been a sugarcoater and he has no filter. So everything he says comes straight off of the top of what he's thinking. Like it's just there and he just says it. And before he knows it, he's got himself in deep shit because he said something about some dude that was stabbed by his son and his wife was stabbed by his son. And now he's making it about Trump derangement syndrome. It's very annoying, but I don't know if it's like.
We had to include himself in it, because they were like mortal enemies.
I mean, it's totally annoying that he had to even pull himself into there. Why couldn't he just have left it at, I'm very sad. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. He could have left it right there. He didn't have to continue on
He
with.
could have, but he didn't have the ability to.
Yeah, his fingers just kept on going.
He had to keep going.
And that is the
He
other
said-
thing. It wasn't like he said it. He fucking tweeted it.
He alluded to the fact that that's the reason he died. He said they passed away reportedly due to the anger he caused.
Well, maybe he did.
How does fucking Trump know that?
So what is he saying?
Well, maybe Trump knows more than we know.
A Trump supporter.
Oh, now you're retarded.
Well, I'm just saying. Maybe
you're
he knows
retarded.
more about this investigation than we actually know.
He knew about it an hour and a half. The LAPD calls the President of the United States about Rob Reiner.
Well, I don't know. They called about Charlie Kirk so he could tell the whole fucking world that Charlie Kirk had been shot and
That's because
died.
he's all friends with him.
I know, but he's the president, remember?
People
He's
don't
all
call
knowing.
the president when somebody's murdered.
It's like Oz.
You're bad shit.
Yeah, he could have not said nothing. I agree. He could have totally just not said nothing. That probably would have been the better idea. I just don't know that it's fucking worthy of, oh my God, Trump.
And now this, he was known to have driven people crazy by his
Do you remember Archie Bunker?
raging obsession. So he's insinuating that he drove his son crazy. I just told you, like Adam Carolla, Rob Schneider, all these people on the right that are they hate the liberals and they're pro-Trump and all this fucking garbage. They were all fucking devastated because they say he's the nicest guy in the world. So you don't believe the people on the right who knew him? And now the president's going out and
those are all
insinuating.
fucking big wigs, and that's like Hollywood to me. So I mean, that's like a nobody to me.
All right,
So,
sorry I brought it
but-
up. I didn't know you were that
say something. I got to say
that
something.
retarded.
There's very few times when it comes about Trump that me and LW agree on something. We both agree that them words should have never been typed out or said. That was no class kind of fucking deal. That just showed his little egomaniac ways. He can't help it. He is who he is. I'd rather have a president that's arrogant and a little bit of ego, but that's a no class move, I think. Because, they have family, and it's okay that them two hated each other, but he could have got away with everything and been sitting high up on the hill. None of these controversy, us not talking about it, by just stopping at that. May you rest in peace. Without putting that TDS syndrome shit.
Oh,
in
I
there.
agree. I already said that.
When it was obviously between the kid and his parents, and so why he had to throw that part in there dumbfounds me. I think whoever let him flick that out needs to be fired.
They don't let Trump do anything. Trump does what he
talking
wants.
about Trump should fire himself and writing pieces about himself. I mean, you're not allowed to do that no more, Mr. President. You're fucking up.
Yeah, I
don't
agree.
know.
I agree.
You know?
I mean, I didn't say it was okay that he said it. I never said for a minute that it was okay
Yeah,
he said
no,
it. I just don't think that it's a fucking, oh my God.
kind of
He
moment.
said something about a liberal. And let's be honest
that
of what
right
Rob
there. Oh, he
Reiner
said
really.
something about a liberal.
Let's remember what the dude was like. Let's remember. Everybody else can say, "Oh, he's a nice guy" and all that. I gotta tell you, man, I didn't like the dude, but I still don't want to
didn't
see
know
bad
him.
things to happen to him. But
You
what
didn't
I
know
knew
him.
about this dude, I didn't care for him. He was a liberal. His character on Archie Bunker fit his real personality like to a fucking T. That was what he was like.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, we can sit here and say that Trump shouldn't have said that. But the reality was he was a liberal.
So what does that mean?
wasn't a liberal,
I
he
don't
was a
understand what that means.
He
Am
was
am I the crazy one here?
What, have you ever watched Archie Bunker?
Yes,
Did you
I've
ever
watched Archie
watch the
Bunker.
show? Okay. Well, did
Yeah,
you think that the kid was normal?
Well, you have to go back. I don't think you ever watched it or you remember it because I know you're 39. You might have been too young, but
Man,
That's a good one. That was a good one, dude. Yeah.
it's not like on Archie. First of all, the whole point of the show was making fun of Archie Bunker. One.
Yeah.
But he was funny too. But two, it's not like he was saying like make your kids trans in like 1978.
he would have if they, and he probably
it was
said
stuff
that
like
to,
it was very mild stuff. It was just the old crotchety conservative and the young fucking or liberal. It wasn't like anything crazy they argued about.
I remember what that dude was like when we were growing up.
I
We
like
used
Gigi.
to watch that fucking show every week. I remember what he was like, and he was off his fucking rocker. He could trigger Archie like nobody's business. Him and Gloria both.
Because
They
had
were
writers.
goofy
I do
as
it, I
shit.
do it because I'm special.
And that's what made it funny.
Yes, but he was still that person. I don't mean, oh, I know he was not meathead. I know he wasn't, but that was how he really was in real life. He had all those fucking same traits. That was his beliefs. Exactly how Meathead believed. But I still don't believe the man should have been, anything bad should have happened to him. And certainly not by his son.
Well, I've never heard that. I mean, I don't know. There's some people that have died that I don't know. You save it for people that have power. Like I don't know, I don't know. Like if you're some world leader and you cause like 2 million deaths because of your decision or some shit that was a lie. When you die, when that person dies, who ended up killing 2 million people, I might be like, well, you know.
Really? Because
I won't say anything bad, but I won't say anything because I won't care.
well, you know what? when the man that murdered my sister died, and they called and told me about it, I said, "Ma'am, you just made my whole fucking day. Thank you very much.
Well,
I
that's a
promise
completely
to
different
be
scenario.
absolutely happy for the next 6 months since that motherfucker is finally 6 foot under."
Well,
I
that's
didn't. But here's the deal.
That's a
I was
completely
still
different scenario.
wishing and being happy that somebody was dead.
All right, but that's a completely different scenario.
Well, it still probably wasn't right. But I'm not changing my way. I still believe that I'm glad the motherfucker's dead.
No, it may not be right, but it's understandable. And I think, you know, people would give you grace about it, but, you know, I don't think it's like the end of the world. That's a completely different situation.
Well, I mean, it is. I mean, I still agree that Trump should have never said anything like that. He shouldn't have. If anything, if he couldn't say nothing nice, again, let's go back to the old adage, you shouldn't have said anything. Just shut the fuck up, move on with your day. I mean, you could have just said no comment.
He's just, he's just full of unforced errors, meaning that he causes so much shit himself.
Yeah, he's definitely frustrated the hell out of me lately. A lot.
And on the important things like Who do
Be right
y'all
back.
play, LW?
We're playing the Aggies on
Suck
Friday. We're gonna kick
my
You're
their
not
fucking
playing
ass.
dick.
No, that's right. Miami's gonna beat y'all. Alabama's gonna beat Oklahoma. You hear that, Baker? I know you're still
Suck it.
listening.
Oh,
Suck it.
you're high.
Suck it. Suck it. Suck it.
I wish
been
I
eating
was.
turnips or something. I don't know what's wrong with you.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, you better fucking go.
don't care.
Get the football fucking shit started. I'm gonna knock the shit out of both you.
No, you can't. You don't
Yes,
have
Gigi.
them,
I
you
mean,
don't have that
yes.
power.
No, but they caught him the very next night.
Yeah. Stupid son of a bitch. Well, that's just, you killed 3 people that day. He killed himself when he did that. His life ain't never going to be the same. He's going to be punk in prison.
Well, and he has to live with that. I mean,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can't. It really does. Like, there's certain things that when I think about them, and it's something like that that's so personal.
Well, you don't know how Rob Reiner treated his son, and you don't know how his son treated Rob Reiner. That's between them. And to close the Trump thing, because that gives him a feeding frenzy to talk bullshit about Trump. Let it go. I mean, it was no class. I disagree with him. I agreed with him. Let him rest in peace, and hope they rested in Jesus' arms. That's the only thing you can wish for them. Even bad people. You got if God forgives them, that there must have been some good to them. So I leave it to God to decide.
I'm not so forgiving.
Well, that's okay. You're not God. And you're not me, you're not anybody else. You're you.
I
You
have
gotta
a
answer
tendency
for
to
you.
hold some grudges, and I'm pretty sure I got it from my grandma.
You could let that one go now because he's dead.
Oh, well.
He's dead.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
got-
It doesn't.
You can get
I mean,
that
I
one
don't lose
off
sleep
your
over it.
load. You can
Yep.
get that off your load.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
The only thing that's very frustrating for me about that whole thing is my nephews, that they were very young at the time. And so, they've had a life of shit. And that's probably one of the,
Yeah.
the biggest
I could understand that. I'm close to my kids too. I call them my kids, my nephews and nieces, and my great nephews and nieces. I'm the head of my farm. You know what I mean? So I totally understand them. And I just, I don't know, man. Just relieve yourself of these hateful things that you think about other people. It'll free you. It really will. I know it did me. I was hating me some people at a hospital when my wife died. Telling you, I'd never felt hate before. Hate. I hated them.
Yeah,
And
I try to really not hate.
well, I had to. They killed my wife.
Yeah, yeah.
And her kid. And their family. They were just so. It was all monetary to them, and it was disgusting. I had to get out of there, and I did get out of there, and it got me away from him, and I had a big talk with him, and I had to forgive them and let them be who they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's their consequences they're going to have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is if I can show that I'll forgive them and take that load off my shoulders, put it on Lord's shoulders, and I don't have to worry about it no more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really freely opening to me, to just not have a guilty conscience of wanting to hurt somebody or wishing somebody harm or thinking about somebody badly. So I just keep my head up and positive, and it goes better that way for me. It just works for me, It's not Duggars. You must follow these rules and alignment to reach this kind of a Yoda thing, but it's just who I am. Yo.
So is
Holy moly.
So Y'all answered my question. We've got two opinions on it. Mr. Duggar's like, I'll pray for you.
No, it's not just pray for you. It doesn't
Forgiveness. Gutters is like, fuck him. He was a liberal. I like it.
And fuck him, he was a liberal too on my side. You know what I mean?
So like, yeah, we got it. That's all my question was.
I mean, he got dealt, but it was supposed to be dealt, I guess. I mean, I don't know if that was karma or what, you know. So bad luck being at home and arguing with your kid, you know. I don't know what the fuck happened there. And personally, it's not going to really affect me one way or the other. But I do feel sorry for their families, you know, just because I hate having love lost for families, and because they're not the ones responsible for the giving or the taking, you know. So I don't know. And who knows who these people are, man? Who fucking knows what went on in that household?
Yeah, I've only wished harm on one person ever in my life, and I mean, that is the only person that I ever wished harm on, and it was only because, I mean, he took her life. So, even if it was people I didn't like, even if I, even to use the strong word, hated them, I still didn't wish bad things on them. I do think that we have a tendency, it used to be, you lived by, if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all.
Yeah.
My problem with that is that can't always be the deal, because there are times that shitty stuff needs to be said.
Yeah, you gotta
no matter how bad you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, but you know, most of the history of humans, I mean, how old is social media? Like less than 20 years old?
Oh yeah, the social media has definitely hardened us.
So before 20 years ago, we would see it on the news. We'd be like, and then even before that, you'd see it in a newspaper. Then before that, you wouldn't hear anything about it because, you know, whatever. You didn't know about it.
Exactly.
You just see it on the news. You'd be like, oh, well, that sucks, you know. And we wouldn't even have known Rob Reiner's politics before social media, you know. But
yes,
now
we would have. Oh, I see what you're saying.
But not on like the 3 networks and cable,
right.
Where they, you know, I mean, all these famous people and everybody just has diarrhea of the mouth on Twitter, and there's all these YouTube shows and all these podcast people going. You wouldn't know all of this information about all these famous people. So back before 20 years ago, we'd see it on the news. Like, that sucks. Some people would pray. Some people would be like, that sucks, and just change the channel and move on with their lives. Now everybody feels that they have to say something about it.
They got to have a part in this.
Well, the part of it is, though, is we are more informed now. And that is because we're not sheltered by 3 stations. We are able to get out more information. And because of that, now the problem is you don't know if it's accurate information or not. But it didn't matter, because before they lied to us all the time and told us it was accurate information. And we really thought it was, because it came from the 3 places of media that we could get information from. And supposedly it was all supposed to be honest information. In reality, it wasn't. They were lying to us the whole time under a false pretense. At least now we know the motherfuckers lie to us, and there's other avenues to find the truth out. And that has fucked them. That has made their job way harder at screwing us, because now we can find out what's truth and what's a lie a hell of a lot easier than we could before.
Well, yeah, in regards to politicians and the government. I mean, not Rob Reiner, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right.
Excuse me a minute.
I think that truth and doubt. Do you know me? I feel like you know me. You said fuck 'em and feed 'em beans. I say that all the time. Are you sure you don't know me? Like In real life, I feel like you do. Uh-oh. Where'd Duggar go? He said, I'm out.
Everybody says that, but I don't believe them.
What?
Online, when they're like all hardcore Billy Badass.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality,
they're a lot softer than they act.
oh, yeah.
Not
A
right.
lot of it's an act.
Oh, yeah.
I think yours is a lot of an act, too.
Oh, it is. Totally. It is. But I can be like, you know, I mean, I can get Marv for you. He'll clue you in on what a bitch I can really be. And then I'll go get my family and they'll tell you too. I mean, you've heard Matt, you know, I can be a bitch. You've seen my personality in backstage.
I just know if there's some like a homeless 50-year-old lady and she comes up to you and says, or she's walking down your street, you're walking down your street, and you're like, she's like, hey, I'm hungry. Can you feed me? You'd be like, I know your YouTube Gigi would be like, fuck you, get a job. What the fuck are you doing out of 50? Don't you have any fucking family? Get the fuck out of here before I call the fucking cops on you. You would go and fucking make him a sandwich. I know you would.
Okay, so I may very well do that. But I'd be
You
very
would.
careful to make sure they didn't follow me home.
Right, you'd be like, stay here. I'll go get you a fucking sandwich.
Mm-hmm. You're right. I would do that. But
They didn't ask you
now,
for
there's a
money, for
limit.
drugs, or anything like that. They're just like, I'm
Yeah.
hungry.
There's a limit.
Do you
Mhm.
have any food for me? I know you would give them food.
Yes. Well, and I kind of was raised that way. I mean, you know, I had a mom that said, you know, she was a single mom and it was not easy for her, but it didn't matter. I mean, 12 kids could have showed up at her door and said, I'm hungry, and she'd have fed them. That's just the way it was. And she, you know, if we were eating, whoever was around us was going to eat too, whether they wanted to or not. So that I was raised that way. And I'm still definitely that way. But I have to say there's certain things that I'm way more
Holy moly.
apt to say than I used to be. Yeah, organic food. Nothing but organic.
Right.
Exactly. Oh, Lord.
She starts talking about fucking glyphosate in the water to this poor homeless lady.
Right.
Like a fucking, they're making the frogs gay.
Dude, I have been on my son big time because of my grandson he's woke up like fucking 4 or 5, shit, it's probably going on a week, in the middle of the night, and he has diarrhea. And then he goes, after he deals with it, he goes back to bed. But it's like, what the hell is going on? And so I'm sure it's just a bug. But there, you know, I'm always like, okay, we'll make sure he's getting enough fluids here, you know, see if he'll drink this Pedialyte. He never drinks it. I buy it and he never drinks it, but I'm just trying to make sure that, you know, he's as healthy as I can get him. And so I told her that I was going to get him different vitamins to make sure that, you know, he's getting everything he needs because he's kind of a picky eater. And she's like, oh my God. I mean, I thought she never says shit with a mouthful with me because she doesn't dare, but I think she was about ready to just tell me, I give him vitamins. We don't need the vitamins that you send, but she knew better than to say that. So they got those vitamins tonight. I don't know how he liked them, but I guess we'll find out. But I'm kind of a stick nose. Sometimes I don't know when to leave good well enough alone, so to speak.
Would you have ever suspected her of that, LW?
Of what?
Leaving well enough things alone.
Oh, no. No,
She's
no.
more like a my way or highway kind of girl, right?
I'm the type of person, like, you know.
Sometimes I think she has rabies.
I think I do have rabies. I have been known to bite people, so you should look out.
Oh, that one fucked me up, man. Hold on a minute.
Now I forgot what I was going to fucking say.
And it fit so much. Yeah, they say around 39 your memory starts slipping on you gutters.
Well, yeah, that's about the age. The other day I posted something that said I'm getting to the age where people are afraid I'm going to bite them. And it's the truth. I may very well. I am getting worse about having a filter. Like even in stores, my kids don't like to go to the store with me because well, for instance, check this out. Marvin goes to the store yesterday for me. Oh my God, I still can't believe this. And I told him to pick up some broccoli and what was the other thing? Oh, he was going to grab a bottle of wine, broccoli, and something else. I can't remember what it was. Anyways.
He came home with beer and frozen burritos.
Right. He comes home. He's got, well, they didn't have the German one I wanted, so he got the red wine so I can make the German wine that I want. But anyway, and he's got 1 crown of broccoli that's about the size of my fist. I'll eat that by myself. And I'm like, what, was you afraid to bring home too much broccoli? He said, all the other ones had slugs on them. Okay. I know that my garden outside, slugs will get on stuff. We try to make sure that doesn't happen, but it does happen. But really in the grocery store, we got to worry about slugs. So you should have seen, I cleaned the broccoli before, I stuck it in the pan.
I've never seen broccoli from the store with slug on it.
Yeah, I mean, Oregon, that's you're really selling that place.
Well, check this out.
Even heard of that shit.
So he told me this yesterday. Well, today I had to go to the store and pick up some shit that he had forgot when he was there yesterday. So one of the things that I wanted to do was, I needed fruit. And so I go over to the fruit and I get the fruit and I'm starting to walk away and I remember, oh yeah, the broccoli. So I traipsed my little ass right over there with my cart to see how and inspect the broccoli, and I don't see any slugs on it. So, and I literally picked pieces up and, was looking around, and this lady's like, excuse me. I'm like, sorry, I heard there were slugs on this. And she's like, is there? I'm like, I don't see any. She's like, oh my gosh, I hope not. I'm like, well, this was yesterday. Somebody said there were slugs on them. She's like, ew. I'm like, So my point is, I would have went and said to the produce dude, come deal with this right now. Everybody in the store would have known there were slugs on the broccoli. Let me just tell you.
Well, I think that's a case where I think we would all kind of speak up and be like, hey.
Oh, not Marv.
That sounds insane to me that you'll have a grocery store that has slugs on
right?
vegetables.
I was just horrified, dude. I was just fucking horrified. And then he comes home and I'm like, did you tell him? Well, no. God's going to get you for that. Because you didn't tell him. Anyways, I did. I did today. I told him today that they had slugs on their broccoli yesterday. But I don't. He kind of looked over at me, and I know he heard what I said. The produce kid did, but he doesn't like me already because I stand too close to him when he gets in my way. He told me one day, please don't stand that close to me. I said, then get the fuck out of my way.
Man, what a delight.
He's the one that said, please don't stand that close to me. If he would have said, excuse me or whatever. But if you're going to say, don't stand that close to me, oh yeah, it's coming out my mouth. For certain.
Oh my God. And he had met you before, right?
This produce kid? Oh yeah. He knows me. Mm-hmm. He's actually, I think he's doing better though. I think this kid really had like an issue with like people's, like his own space and, well, you're in a store. You're standing right in front of it was oranges that I was trying to get. I couldn't get to them without getting by him. That's all there was to it. I didn't say excuse me because I could reach and grab them. I wasn't that close to him. I was probably a foot and a half from his foot, and he was pointed towards the produce, and so was I. So I just reached over and grabbed the oranges. It wasn't that big a deal. But he fucking made it a big deal. It's okay. I made it a bigger deal.
You grabbed oranges off his cart?
No. It's a produce guy, and he was stalking the oranges. So I was grabbing oranges, and I reached over and grabbed them, and that's when he told me that I was too close.
Too close?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
He's never told me that again. I can't imagine why not.
Should have him out for coffee.
Yeah. He's better though. I have to say, that's what I was saying, is he is better. Now I can kind of, I can get a little close, and he'll actually look at me and smile, and I smile back. I'm very nice to him. I mean,
you take him a Christmas card with $20 in it.
I'm not taking that motherfucking shit. I'll take him some broccoli with a slug on it. That's what I'll take him. What is that?
See now, that ain't forgiven.
Well, it is. He's the one that had broccoli on, or slugs on the broccoli. That's his job. I think my husband's taking the garbage out.
Kind of chilly willy here.
Dude, it was colder than a well digger's butthole Sunday here. No, Saturday. Cold. Man, it was cold. And then it warmed right up. It was really weird, though, because it was like 50, 49, something like that. No, it was 50. But the wind blew, and it made it feel like it was like 35. I hate the wind.
It's 30, probably about 35 degrees here right now. 38.
Oh, no. See, it's 57 here. It's warm here right now.
Let me see.
But it's wet, so.
I bet it's moist.
It's fucking wet. Ugh. Sick of it. Hey, easy there, Truth and Doubt. God damn it. Who is that? I'm going to look.
They say it's
see
38.
Who you are.
What'd they say?
Oops. Hey, Johnny. Johnny's list. What do you mean, oh, geez?
I was just read the chat.
What are you laughing about?
Oh, nothing. I was supposed to be mad at it. Sorry.
Yes, be mad.
I'm angry. You're gonna get broccoli with slugs on it.
Right.
Guy in the chat.
Right.
I've seen them outside, but never in a store. And I can't be sure they were slugs and not worms.
The other night, so it's been raining here, so we get lots of earthworms out. And they were crawling across my sidewalk, and I went to walk into the house from the car, and I stepped on that slug, and I could feel him like slink back up. You know how they'll do as soon as you touch them, they kind of get small again. Oh, I could feel it through my fucking shoe, dude. It was the craziest feeling ever. Oh, I hate that shit. It was. I must have just landed on him just right, because it was so gross. But slugs, if I see a slug, I get the salt shaker out when we go to town.
Oh man, that's so mean.
Fuck that. I got a garden, and them sons of bitches have ate way too much of my garden. I will salt them, and I hope I hear them scream. I swear I've heard slugs scream before.
Little slug screams in the night.
Yeah, she's a psychopath, actually.
Told you I've been
The slugs
practicing
have
Erica's
TG syndrome.
I've been practicing Erica's stuff.
TG.
I don't know how she does it.
Toxic gutter girl syndrome.
She kept looking up To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. I'm like, what the fuck, woman?
She looks like she ought to be holding a baseball bat or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Come on. Eye stockings.
Right?
It's not just she's a murderer, it's a torturer.
Right. A lot of things make sense now.
I'm dying. That's like when it comes to wasps, hornets, I don't fuck around. I break out the gas.
That's right.
They
Burn
get
that
gas.
shit to the ground.
You don't even got to burn it. Just get it on them. That gas kills them better than shit.
Yeah, Marvin did that. He poured it down the hole that they were in, but problem was is it was pretty close to the house. I'm like, dude, I don't think you should probably do that.
You get a good splash of gas, they ain't gonna fly.
Yeah, they left.
Yeah,
They never came
die.
back.
Wherever it hits them, it kills the shit out of them.
Yep, they left. They didn't bother to come back. They thank goodness because it was right
we had
outside the back
down
door.
in South Texas, they got the real yellow jacket nests. I bet LW's seen a couple of those.
Yeah, mostly we have those terrible red wasps.
Red wasps, yeah.
They're the worst.
Yeah, they hurt the worst too. The wasp with the black tail, they ain't as mean. They don't, but red wasps, they'll come hit you just for coming close to their shit.
Yeah, somehow like 3 of them got into my mailbox a few years back. And I went and I, just opened the mailbox, stuck my hand in there and got stung by all 3. The whole neighborhood heard me scream motherfucker.
They called 911. There's a woman down there being killed.
Yeah.
She's screaming like a girl.
I think the one that hurt me the worst was the scorpion.
Yeah, those hurt.
Oh my God, dude, things hurt for a long time too. But if you got some tobacco, if you put some wet tobacco, it eases it off a lot quicker. Same thing with a hornet bite or a bee sting. You put some wet tobacco on it, it helps.
Yeah, they're scorpions. They're bad in the hill country.
Yeah, I got lammed by one of them son of a bitches, dude, and right on my ankle. Oh, it hurt all the way up my thigh. I ain't shitting you.
I've never even
I
seen
thought
a
a
scorpion.
rattlesnake or something had got me, and then I seen the little bastard.
Yeah,
I've never seen one.
So that's something I do every time I put on shoes. I knock them on the floor. That's how it got me. It was on my boot. Why they want to get in there with my boot, I don't know. Obviously, scorpions cannot smell.
Right.
Oh, Truth and Doubt says rub catfish.
Yeah, that's
slime
right.
on
Rub
it.
the belly on it. Just take that catfish and rub the belly on it, and pull it out.
Really?
Yeah. That is for true.
Huh.
Good night, Ann.
Good night, Ann. Love you, darling.
Agent 9493. Well, shit, it's about my bedtime.
It
You think
is
so?
my bedtime. It is my bedtime. It's not about. It is.
Well, look at there. I put you boys to bed.
That's right.
Tucked you in. Gave you a drink of water.
That was a bedtime story.
Gave you a kiss on the forehead.
No, not there.
Well, everybody, I think we're all going to bed. And not together, but we're going to bed. So, thank y'all for coming. I'm going to do a really short outro because if it don't, LW will be like fucking gone with the wind.
Oh, I'm going to be gone here.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be gone here faster than this intro even gets started. So you better start it soon.
Just drop the ball.
You think so? You don't? All right, you guys. I'm going to do it right now. Good night, everybody. Hope y'all have a fabulous week. Don't forget, Friday night, we have our conspiracy show or whatever it's going to be on. But I believe it's going to be about whatever I told you it was earlier.
It's going to be
I
about,
forgot.
it's going to be about Alabama versus Oklahoma. So everybody show up to the college football
Hey,
playoffs.
And
Fuck it's
Aggies
not.
are gonna curb stomp the Miami.
Gigi's going to do
game.
Gigi's going to do play-by-play for the first playoff game of the season.
Mm-mm. No, it's
Well,
not
hey,
happening.
I want to let everybody say giggle Maggies. And
Yeah.
may God's blessing be on you.
Yeah, football sucks. Let's
GG's
just remember that. And we are going to talk about Krampus, I think, and all the other ones on Friday night. So come check it out. It'll be fun. We usually do a call-in show, and we do one person at a time. So, we don't have a bunch of people talking over each other, and everybody gets to visit. And so, yeah, come hang out with us. We have a blast. Thank y'all for coming. Good night.
Giggle Maggies.
Roll Tide.